All right, everybody, here we go. Welcome to a special episode of Sports Cards Live. I thought to myself, you know what? There's lots going on eBay tonight. Lots of awesome cards being sold. PWCC has their monthly auction, and tonight is hockey card night. I think it's football card night too, but we're going to focus on the hockey cards tonight. So I'm excited. I mean, there's nothing really I'm bidding on. Well, maybe there was a card I wanted to bid on. It's already gone past my budget for it. We'll talk about that when it comes up a little bit later tonight. I'm a little, I guess I'm disappointed. Mr. LAGN, good evening. Sorry I started about a minute late. So, hey, before we get started, couple of things. So what's hot in the news right now? I mean, obviously, Ken Golden Auctions just raised $40 million. Lots of celebrities and well-known people who are obviously getting behind our hobby. And people aren't just putting money into cards. They're putting money into businesses. And I think that's pretty awesome. It sends a good sign, shows strength, shows that people believe in what we're all doing here with these sports card things. So that's pretty cool. Today is release day for Upper Decks The Cup. That's pretty cool too. It's Cup Day, as we like to say, and I know a lot of people are pretty excited. I think it's more expensive than a lot of people were hoping for, but people are cracking. I've seen some stuff show up on eBay already, a few pieces here and there, and the cards look good. I'm happy to say the cards look good. I think they look good, and but that's just my opinion, of course. Interested to hear what some of you guys think. If you've had a peek yet at what's going on there, I'll let you guys know also. So, hey. Remember, guys, check out the Big Three Hockey on Instagram. Support of the channel, showcasing fine singles. Check them out at the Big Three Hockey. Also, let you guys know a couple of appearances I'm making coming up here. I think it's this Saturday. I think I'm on Hobby Hotline. Yes, this Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll be guest hosting on Hobby Hotline. So check that out. That's the name of the channel. Also, coming up Monday, I'm going to be on Dustin's channel, the personal finance dad. Justin, I see you in the room. Welcome. There he is. Dustin, howdy to you, my man. Good to see you. Yannick, did you guys say it? Records. I think we're going to see some cards sell for some big money tonight, so it'll be exciting to watch. The first card on the watch list that I have queued up doesn't end for about 15 minutes, so we got a few minutes here, but I'm excited to see what some of these things end at. We're going to be starting back at 1910 C56 hockey cards. There's a couple of Art Ross cards. Let's see what else I got queued up. A Fred Taylor. We got Cyclone Taylor. We've got Lester Patrick of the Patrick Brothers, Patty Moran, Hall of Famer, Joe Malone from the 1911 C55 set. A great card in a PSA 5. Lots of cards to watch end tonight, guys. I'm excited to see what happens here. Let's see who we got with us though. Who do we got? We got Yannick. Yannick, hello again. Evan Thomas, thanks, man. Yeah, I honestly, guys, I only decided to do this when I was driving home from work today, and I'm kind of at a red light, and I'm looking to see what's coming up on eBay. I'm like, wow, there's a ton. Let's do a little. Let's go live and talk about it. It's fun, it's fun. Otherwise, I'm just watching it myself. This way, we can watch it together. Charles, what's up with you, man? Brian Maddock, good evening. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. Shareholder, good to see you. Global Sports Card Investor, how's it going? Fire Sports Cards, I'm doing well. Thanks. I hope you're doing well too. My man Charles in the house. Charles, you'll be on with me in a couple of weeks on After Hours. Roy G, aloha to you. Aloha, Fire Sports, PFD. And yeah, we got Dustin in the house with us. Nick, good evening. Am I planning on bidding tonight? I mean, there is a card I want to buy, but it's already like double what I was hoping to get it for. So I don't think I'm going to be bidding on much tonight. If anything, Jordan, glad you find it fun. Happy to hear that. Facebook, you guys, if you're watching on Facebook, I thank you for watching, but I'll put it in the comments right now. Oh, sorry, I'll put it on the ticker. Go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Click that big blue button. That way I know who you are. I see a couple of you, or just put your name. If you're on Facebook, just put your name beside your post so I can at least talk to you. I'm sure I know who you are. It'd be nice to communicate with you that way. Jordan S., good evening. Jeff McMahon. Yeah, another Wednesday show. Want to do them every so often. Thanks, Global. Appreciate that. Ryan, welcome to the show, my man. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it's going to be a rocket. Another Facebook user. Good evening to you. Amish Dave, good to see you. Kelly Winters, glad you like the idea. Thanks for showing up. Mike Simon, thank you for coming as well. Buy up, Yusufa Mukoko. Must be soccer, hey? If I'm wrong, I don't even know what it is. But okay, guys. So like I said, I got a bunch of cards queued up, ready to share, ready to watch the ticker go down to 0 and the final hammer come down on these cards. We're about 12 minutes away from the first one. But in the meantime, you know what I want to do is I'm going to show you guys a bit of what's on my watch list that has ended. You guys want to see my end? I've got my watch list is of 400 items. I maxed it out today as I was adding and adding for this episode. And anyway, my watch list is maxed out, but let me share my screen. I'm going to show you what's on there that is ended. And it's pretty much in order of, I think it's just going to go in the order that they've ended. Let me see here. Bear with me. Go to my watched. It's taken long. And let's go to ended. Okay. So these are in the order that they've ended. So I'm going to share the screen right now. Here you go, guys. Here you go. So this is my watch list. These are some cards I was watching. You know, this just ended a few minutes ago on PWCC. It's Tom Brady 2013. I don't know much about this card. Numbered out of 99. I just wanted to see what it would end at. Just because I watch it doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. I watch a lot of cards. So anyway, we had it's ended for $722. This Tom Brady Rookies and Stars Crusade 2013. Kind of neat. Precious Metal Gems, PMG Green, John Elway in a PSA 8. And the grade doesn't matter so much, but look at that, $21,300. That just ended a few minutes ago. 51 bids, pretty serious stuff. Here we have a Patrick Waugh PSA 9 rookie. There's probably another one coming up tonight that we're going to watch. $2,125. I mean, I used to buy these things for $300-400. Brett Hull PSA 10s. This card was hovering around the $800-900 mark for a long time. And, you know, the one before this sold for $5,000 that I saw. This one, $4,550. One of my favorite cards, the Tony Hawk. Now I've got some Tony Hawks. Now I just watch them to see what they're ending at. And these are all bought at these prices. I've gone into check. So PSA 7, $1,500. PSA 8, $1,950. I mean, these prices have just been going up over time. That's no surprise, right? Everything is going up. We know that. So I shouldn't be so surprised. PSA 9, SP Authentic, Tom Brady rookie, $42,190. I almost bought one of these at the Toronto Expo, probably 2019. And I think I said no thanks for 7,000 or 8,000 Canadian dollars. Yeah, so, you know, we all have some of those, or I've got lots of them. We all have lots of those. Who am I kidding? Here's a great card, Kobe Bryant, Ultra Star Power Supreme in a PSA 7. I watched, you know, I have this card. I actually own this card in a PSA 10. So I like to watch cards where I own a copy of it just to see what's going on with it. That's, you know, kind of watching what you got. This one ended at $1,912 in a 7. I don't know what to make of that, but a neat card. One of my favorite looking cards. Ovechkin Cup Rookie. Sold by Randy LaCusta, $39,700. I've been in and out of 3 or 4 of these over the years. I haven't had one in a long time, but in the early days, I've had 3 or 4 of these. I don't have any anymore, unfortunately for me. You know, Precious Metal Gems, again, I like watching these. Mike Trout. This is a Las Vegas Summit card that was given away at the Industry Summit, and it's in a PSA 8, sold for $1,925. Again, a card I watch out of interest. This one blew my mind. 1996 Topps Chrome Allen Iverson PSA 10. This isn't a refractor. It's nothing special. It's just a regular Topps Chrome base card. PSA 10 sold for $9,800. I bought a copy probably in 2000 and I don't know what it was, 13, 14, 15 for maybe $100, $125. I still have it. Thankfully, I still have that card. I don't know what to make of this. This is just a big number. Here's a Ken Griffey Jr. patent leather insert from 97 Stadium Club, sold for $305. I'm a Ken Griffey Jr. fan, so I just like to watch, see what some of his cards sell for. A Wayne Gretzky Emblems of Endorsement, $2,090. Sorry, guys, I haven't been looking at the comments. I'm going to see what you all are talking about. We're going to get ready to look at some actual ending items here. Let's see. Nick, planning on bidding tonight. Yeah, thanks for loving the show with Patrick Bet David. That was awesome. I enjoyed that too. That was so much fun. What a great guest he was. And yeah, what can I say? That was a great experience for me. I really enjoyed that. Jordan, thank you. Evening. Good evening, Jordan. Yeah, another Wednesday. Okay, I've been through some of these already. That's all right, though. We'll go through some again. Here we are. Josh Packham, what's up with you? Welcome. Will you talk about which card I will, Jordan. I will definitely talk about which card I wanted. Axonite, good evening to you. Al G, good evening, Al. Nice to know. Thanks for letting me know. Not a cricket card. Gordie Howe there. I think there's a Gordie Howe PSA 2.5 on the watch list. We'll be taking a look at that one. Global, another crazy week in the hobby with Vegas Dave's comments. Yeah, are there new comments or are those still the old ones? I don't even care anymore. Seb, PWCC will make my collection triple in value. My want list too. No doubt, Seb. No doubt. Thank you, Darren. Glad you joined in. Frank DeStasi. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, personal finance. One of my favorite. Good friend of mine. Thank you so much for that. Tim, good evening. David G. This is play-by-play card collect. Yeah, let's do this. Billy, welcome, Billy. Yeah, so hold on. I want to see how long we have till the first one ends. Still, there. This is the first one we're going to watch. So this has 6 minutes left, so we'll come back. Well, we'll just leave it up there. Why not? But by the way, so this is an Art Ross rookie card. For those of you who may not know, if you are not a hockey fan like myself and several people watching, the Art Ross trophy is handed out every season to the player who scores the most points in the league. So this trophy has been dominated by the likes of Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr. It's, in recent years, it's been spread around a little bit. Connor McDavid has won it, of course. I believe Nikita Kucherov on Tampa Bay has won it. Last year, I think it was Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers that won it. It's an easy, there's no voting. Whoever gets the most points wins the trophy. It's named after this guy, Art Ross. He's a pioneer of the sport. He's an original Hall of Famer. This is the 1910 C56 series. Of course, these are cigarette cards. And the complete set had 36 cards. I believe 21 of those cards are Hall of Fame rookie cards. Of course, every card's a rookie, but 21 of the players in that 36 card set are Hall of Famers. And just to let you know a little bit about myself, I have the whole set. I collected. I didn't collect the set per se. I bought the set complete several years ago after going to a Bosa show in Edmonton and meeting a gentleman who had the set. And of course, I didn't have enough money on me. I did a 3-hour drive. So we met halfway in Red Deer the next weekend, and I purchased the set from him. It was a couple cards were graded, only 2 or 3 were graded. In 2008, I took the cards with me to the Chicago National. I gave them to PSA for grading, and I got them all back. So I have this set complete. My Art Ross, there's 2 Art Ross cards in this set. This is the number 8. I think mine's in a 3.5 or a 4 holder. But, this is a cool card. But look at that crease right across his neck there. I just wouldn't want this in my collection because of that. Now, that might sound bad, but I mean, I'd rather have a 2 that just doesn't have a crease right through the body of it, and instead maybe has other flaws, like even some paper loss on the back. I'd be okay with that. So, I think I'm missing a card here. Let me just see here. No, I'm not. Okay. So that one's about to end, and that's going to get pretty quick, guys, because you know how PWCC auctions work. The auctions end like every couple of seconds, so we will be running through these as they happen. I'll try to keep my eyes on the comments. Terry, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Seb, good evening. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, wasn't that funny last Saturday night on After Hours? If anyone didn't see that, we're chatting along, James Hummel and myself, having a great time. And then next thing you know, I decide I'm going to mute myself so I can burp and not have it come through. I forgot to unmute myself for like 5 minutes. I'm talking into the camera. Anyway, we recovered and we kept on going. Justin, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Just turned this on, watching the living room without workout bike. Nice. Yeah, no doubt. We'll have some fun. Mike Simon. Yeah, I heard about that Joe Rogan. Crazy. Interest in the Yari Curry PS rookie card and 4 Paul Coffees. All right, man. Good luck to you on those. Corey, welcome to the show. Good evening. Glad to see you. Thanks for joining. Frank, good evening to you. 90s. Amazid. Yeah, happy to have you. John Laborde, Probe Scene 2003 Net Pro, Serena Williams PSA 10 at $7,300 with 1 hour to go. Wow. Cards are blowing up. Doesn't matter what sport you play. Cards are blowing up. Well, I'm saying that like it's news. It's not news anymore. You never watched a hockey game in your life. My hockey card knowledge is limited to the Mighty Ducks. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's what you're here for. You're going to learn a bit tonight. We'll talk about these cards too. Global sports card investor, but I do have one hockey card that someone sent as a freezy. Very nice. Darce, my man Darcy in the house. Good evening, Darce. Troy, might need extra eyes to watch them all close. Yeah, for sure. Tom, welcome to the show. BGS 9, two-color Mckinnon Cup would go for now. I'll take a stab at that and say, like, no, I'm not. I mean, I could see that being $4,000 or $5,000 now, but tough to say. I'd have to look at comps. Whenever somebody asks me what I think a card is going to sell for, what's it worth, I go to look at comps. So I kind of say, that's where we go. We get our comps from eBay for the most part. James Hummel says, slightly off topic. Rumor is PSA is raising prices substantially this week. Obviously, yeah. James, I mean, it's a rumor. I'm not going to put any credence into that until they publish something themselves. Yes, Terry, there is a beautiful Vezina. There's a PSA 6 George Vezina that's going to be ending in a few minutes here. And if anyone who out there doesn't know, George Vezina, again, a pioneer of the game. The trophy that is awarded to the best goalie every season is awarded the Vezina Trophy. So the trophy is named after him. A lot of people call the Vezina rookie card, which is from the 1911 C55 set. A lot of people consider that to be a holy grail of hockey. And while it's not necessarily priced like a holy grail, it certainly is one of the more important pre-war rookie cards in the hockey. If not, it's probably the top 5 pre-war hockey rookie that is out there. Sean Lindsay, welcome. Well, turn off AEW recorded then. I'm just messing. John Laborde, in December, Serena Williams PSA 10 closed at $600 to $7,000 or $14,000. Nuts. But if you have one, you're happy. Look at that. The Art Ross is ending in a couple of 24 seconds, guys. It's at $1,643. Anyone know anything about the McKinnon Bantam AAA card that hit eBay today? Not really. Can't say that I do. If anyone out there does, let him know. All right, guys, 10-9-8-7-6 coming up here, 1643. Will there be any last second bids? There we go. 2009, 2034 in the last second. Let's move on. That's the PSA 3 look, it already ended. We got to keep moving. I'm too slow. Newsy Lalonde and a PSA 2.5 sold for $2,500. Here we go. 2-1, $2,400 for Frank Patrick. Patty Moran, 536. I'm too slow. $1,235 for Joe Malone and a PSA 5. We have a 25-second break. So these are 1911s. This is the second year of hockey cards. This is the Art Ross card, not a rookie. Second year card. Beautiful card, if I might say so. I let PSA 5 strong grade. There we go. Jumped up to 1175, 1250. Still 10 seconds to go. How high will this go? There's another bid. 13 and a quarter, $1,400. Somebody wants this card. 1602. Can we break 2000? No, 1677. Let's see if it ended any higher. 1752 that one ended at. So it did get a last second bid. 1235 on the Malone, 536 on the Patty Moran, 2412 on the Lester Patrick, 2500. And this is just an ugly card. Look at this card. I mean, it's a cool card, but that centering is about as bad as it gets. $3,200, 3133 for a PSA 3 Art Ross card number 12. And that was that one there. Okay, let's close some of these and get back to where we left off, which is right here. Here's the George Vezina, guys. 16 seconds left. It's a PSA 6 at $12,100. Let's see if it gets any bids in the last couple of seconds. 14.6, 17.6. So, I mean, that jumped up $6,000 in the last few seconds. This is a King Clancy rookie, $4,450 and a PSA 5. This is a Dit Clapper Hall of Famer, really cool card. The first year of O-Pee-Chee, 1933. PSA 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No more bids. 3, 2, 1. Joe Primo, another Hall of Famer, $685. This is a big card here, guys. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here we go. Eddie Shore, awesome card. One of the most important pre-war cards, probably the most important card from this set. PSA 5. It's at $1,700. 10 seconds to go. There we go. 29. There we go. Any more bids? $37.50. 38 and a quarter at the last second. We got 30 seconds left on this Turk Broda. This is a popular card. PSA 3. 23 seconds to go. PSA 10 O-Pee-Chee Jagger. Your opinion, ceiling. The Jagger PSA 10 O-Pee-Chee Premier. I mean, that card seems to go for like $800 nowadays, but let's watch a Broda 4. There's a bid. 2, 1, $4,250 for a PSA 3. 6 seconds on this Milt Schmidt. This is an oversized card. PSA 4. There we go. Last second bids, $1,136. This is an interesting card. It's a pre-rookie. Jacques Plante, legendary player. I'm not a fan of the card from an aesthetics perspective, but decent, got some decent money right there. This is a big card, guys. PSA 8, Maurice Richard. This is one of those regrets I have. I used to own one of these in a PSA 8, and I made a horrible, horrible trade for it at an expo several years ago. And now I have a PSA 4 in my personal collection. I would sure like to trade up for an 8, but to me, this 8 is too off-centered. Like, I would be interested in it, and $20,000 I think is very fair for this card in a PSA 8. But this left-right centering, I would rather not have an 8 with that centering. I would rather not buy this card. So I'm not going to. But this is exciting. This should go up again. I remember a PSA 8.5 or a 9 sold for $30,000 a couple years ago. And things have changed, obviously, but let's see if any final second bids. If not, I'm going to attribute it to the lack of good centering, and it seems like that's it on that card. Here's a Doug Harvey, PSA 8, Hall of Fame defenseman. They say the best until Bobby Orr came around. $2,600 for a PSA 8. Sounds cheap to me. Boom Boom Jeffrey on PSA 7, another Hall of Famer. $810 and a 7. And now we're a couple of Terry Sakics back to back. This is a PSA 4 for $2,000. And here's a PSA 8 that's at 5. I had a PSA 7. I sold it, I think, back in June for less than $2,000. It was a 7, a PSA 7. Oh, this has the PWCC, one of their special designations, top 30% designation. So it's going to get a bit of a premium because of that. I had a PSA 7, as I was saying. I think I sold it for, it was like 20. No, I sold it to Earl Strohmeyer. I think bought that from me for like $1,600 US. Look at that. There we go. $2,400 for the PSA 4. And here's the PSA 8. It's already been bumped up to $6,600. We've got a few seconds left. 22 seconds. Let's have a look and peek in on the Gordie Howe. This is the PSA 2.5 Gordie Howe with a big crease through the middle. Ends in 51 seconds. But let's go back here on the PSA 8. Terry Sakic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No more bids. $6,600 for a PSA 8. Alex Delvecchio, $1,300. And here's the Gordie Howe, guys. This is a big card. I mean, any Gordie Howe rookie is a big card. Again, if you're going to buy this is actually for a PSA 2.5. It's a low grade. And it should be a 2.5. Rounded corners. I do like the color of the card. It's got some real authentic aging to it. I like that. But that crease through the middle, not my favorite, of course. Let's see if we get any bids in the last few seconds here. 3, 2, 1. No more bids. And I'm not surprised. $7,100 is a pretty healthy price for that card. This is a card I've never seen before today. This is a 1952 Juniors blue tint. I don't know what that is, but it's a PSA 4 with an on-card autograph, an in-person autograph. Don Cherry, he's a legend. Let's see what happens here. I don't know what to expect, but is it going to go for more than $400? Maybe not. And here's the same card, an Henri Richard, PSA 7, just got $1,370. Again, a card I'd never seen before today. A PSA 6.5, Tim Horton, just sold for $5,600. This is a second-year Gordie Howe. Beautiful. I love this card. PSA 4, $761. PSA 3, Jean Beliveau, a very key card of a legend. A PSA 3, $1,300. These prices are higher than they've ever been. $1,691. And then we have an SGC 9, Jean Beliveau. Now, this card to me looks too good to be true. Those borders are just, it's just too white. It's too white. You compare the borders there to the borders here, and not just the borders, the overall coloring of the card. You compare that, that, and I like the color of this one so much better. It's so much more authentic than this. This looks like it's just pack pulled. Anyway, I'm not going to say much more about it. I prefer that card to this card, but I want to see what an SGC 9 is going to sell for. And obviously it's going to sell for some good money. George Vezina makes Patrick Waugh look like an amateur. Well, like you ever saw him play. This is like the Price is Right game. Great idea for a video. Thank you, Adam. We got 3 seconds left on the Beliveau SGC, and it's going to end at 21.4. Here's a Gump Worsley PSA 7 Hall of Famer. Again, that's a very bright card. $900 sounds about right to me. Johnny Bauer, 1954 Parkhurst. Again, a legend, a Maple Leafs legend. PSA 8's at $2,000. Let's see if we get any bids in the last couple seconds here. No, doesn't seem like it. 2075. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. The Jacques Plante rookie card. The regular version, this regular version has a red back to it. You can see right here, it's got the red back. There's also another version. It's called the Quaker Oats version, and it's the same, but it's got the text on the back is green. I personally own this exact card. I have it in a PSA 6, just like this copy. I've had it for many years, and I always said I don't want the Quaker Oats version. I want the pack pulled, the one the kids were buying in the shops with gum back in the day. Even though the Quaker Oats version sells for more, I don't care. I want this one. I want this copy, so I do have it. Wow, $68.50. Unbelievable. Here we have an Henri Richard rookie, 1957 Parkhurst, a PSA 2.5. I can't believe this price. It seems very high to me, but apparently these cards are super tough to find. $25.75. Same set, Frank Mahovlich rookie card, PSA 8.5. And I mean, that's what the PSA 2.5 Henri Richard just sold for. So obviously he's worth well more than Frank Mahovlich, but we did get a couple last second bids to bring that up to $33.60. Here we go, 57 Tops, Johnny Busick, a PSA 8, does $22.75. Sounds right to me. All right, we have a bit of a break. This is an awesome card. Bobby Hall, one of the more important cards, vintage rookie cards in our hobby, up there with the Gordie Howe and the Bobby Orr. For the longest time in Beckett, this card, the Gordie Howe and the Bobby Orr, were all book valued at $3,000. I mean, this goes back, several years, and they were there for a long time. So this card is very well respected. It's number 66 in the set, making it the last card in the set. Lots of elastic band damage done there. So I'm excited to see what this card sells for. I personally own this card in a PSA 6, and I want to see what happens here. Let's have some comments in the meantime. Nick, lots of Holy Grail cards in. Yeah, if anyone's bought anything yet, let us know. James, any idea who can sign these gems? I know that Sean Chalk has several cards in the auction. Billy, what is your opinion on grading being almost prerequisite to sell high in this market? Would you prefer a bad grade on a hard-to-find cards or just keep it raw? It's a good question, Billy. For my vintage, I want it graded. So I would just get the card I want graded eventually. What a card. Money Malone Mindset. Malone Money Mindset, welcome. Yeah, I don't know what card you were talking about, but they're all going big. Peeps, totally agree regarding all the vintage. It looks too good. Yeah, we're coming down to time there. Are we watching? Jeremy Saul. None of these are mine. None of these cards are mine. I wish. Seriously, though. No, none are mine. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. There we go. There's another bid. Let's see some more bids on this. $22,000. Here's a Stan Mikita, another key card, 1960 Tops in a PSA 8. I happen to own this card in a PSA 8. I've had it for many years. Did not pay close to $2,483 for it. Looks like that's what it's going to end at. Here's another card, Phil Esposito, another key 60s rookie in a PSA 8. Another card I own in a PSA 8 as well. And yeah, I think I paid $600 for it. So happy to see it sell for much more than that. Earl there we go. We have a winner. We have a winner with us tonight. Earl, I'm so glad you joined. I don't know if you heard, I was just telling how I sold you my PSA 7 Terry Sawchuk. I believe it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. No, maybe it was. No, you bought 3 1933s off me. Someone else bought that Sawchuk. That's right. Sorry, I got it real confused with someone else. That goes back to the June Virtual Expo. So we're going to watch this Phil Esposito sell for $22.25. In the meantime, I'm just going to close a bunch of these windows from auctions. 38, 42, 50. There's Earl's Turk Broda. We all know what you paid, Earl, but congratulations on landing it. Great card. Close up more of these. 810 on the Jeffreyon, 2400 on the Sawchuk, 6600 on the Sawchuk 8. Del Vecchio 1316, Gordie Howe and a 2.5, $7,100. That's big money. 440 there, 1360 on the Richard, 5600 on the Tim Horton, 761 on the second year Bobby Gordie Howe, 21.4 on the SGC 9 Beliveau, 898 on the Worsley, 2000 on the Bauer, 6800 on the Plant, 2500 on the Richard, 33 on the Mahovlich, 22 on the Busick, 22,000 on the Bobby Hull, 2400 on the Makita, 2600 on the Esposito. And now, I guess that was it there. The Esposito, I missed it end. Got back to it too late. Apologies, but 2600 or so, not bad on that. We have a 4-minute break until the next round. So there are obviously cards ending on PWCC on eBay here in between, but nothing that I wanted to really look at. Yeah, peeps, that Esposito was nice. I thought it was a little bit off-centered, but you know, 8s don't have to have perfect centering, so you're going to see off-centered 8s. It's just going to happen. Nick says, quick question, are PSA Authentics altered worth buying for 50s and before? Hockey cards, I'm looking at some high-end that are too high for me at low grades. Any thoughts? I mean, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was at the Cleveland National, I don't remember the year, but a few years ago, I was just walking around, and there were these two guys younger than me walking around buying up cards, and I heard them talking about how the one guy was like, you know, I love this card. It's a PSA 8 with the OC qualifier, so the off-center qualifier. And I think the general rule we say is, you know, it usually sells for like 2 grade points lower sort of thing. Well, his rationale for it was like, look, centering isn't as important to me as it is to everybody else. It's got great edges, great corners. The card is perfect in every other way, but the centering is just off. But to get the card in that great of a condition, and he said it's still an 8, which I don't necessarily agree with as much because it's the qualified 8. But, you know, and I think if PSA weren't to add the qualifier, it would have graded out at more of a 6, most likely. But he was happy with it. And it made me think, you know, there are people out there who don't really care as much about the grade on the card as much as owning the card and it's been slabbed and authenticated. And that's important to a lot of people. So to Nick's question, I mean, I've come very close to buying some authentic altered cards. 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, for example. There was one that looked freaking like a PSA 10. This is several years ago, and I almost bought it. I didn't, but I thought a lot and I thought hard about it. So to me, you know, I think there is merit to buying some cards that are in authentic or altered slabs because you're going to get them for a fraction of the price. And, you know, people always say, buy the best you can. I agree with that somewhat, but it's like, if you buy the best you can, are you not going to blow your budget and then you can't buy anything else? So if you are sort of wanting to add 20, 30, 40, 50 cards to your collection over the course of a year, let's say, well, if you buy the best Wayne Gretzky rookie card you can, are you going to have money left for those other 99, 29, however many cards you still want to buy? I don't know. It comes down to money management. And to me, you know, I try to buy the best cards I can, but maybe I could buy a PSA 10 of something and then I'm done for the year. So I don't want that. I want to buy maybe the second or third best I can, leave money to buy more cards because I love mail days. I love buying cards. It's what I do. Let's hear it from you guys. Anybody out there buying anything tonight, bidding on any of these cards tonight? Have you seen anything that really surprised you? Anything that you thought might go higher, go lower? The Autograph Vault, welcome to the show, says, buy what you love and can afford. Yeah. And I agree with that. Buy what you love, buy what you can afford, but save yourself money for more cards later. Simple as that, really. So right now, guys, we're looking at this Daryl Sittler, another Hall of Famer, Toronto Maple Leafs legend, PSA 8, a really good grade. To me, in the 70s, PSA 8s are nice. If you can see along the right edge, it's got some like almost some darkening going on right along the right edge. And you see that on a lot of these 1970 cards. These are just really cool cards, in my opinion. I love the pretend spotlights in the background. We'll see. Will we see another one? No, we don't have any more of these 1970s coming, but it's also the rookie year of Gilbert Perreault, Hall of Famer, and Bobby Clark, Hall of Famer, Brad Park, Hall of Famer. So there's 4 really key rookie cards in this 1970 O-Pee-Chee set, and of course you've got Bobby Orr card, among others, a Gordie Howe card. 23 seconds here. It's at $811. The next card we're going to look at is this Larry Robinson, Hall of Fame defenseman, the Big Bird, in a PSA 9, which is a pretty strong grade. It's at $1,200. Well, let's come back to the Sittler. We got 10 seconds. I drew sunglasses on all my Dino Ciccarelli rookies. Too funny. Any final bids? Oh, one at the last second to $1,026. Very cool. 1,026 on that. And now we have a 3-minute break until the next one. The last card I have teed up here, 17 minutes, is this PSA 9 Ray Bourque. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to look at some other cards that are on my watch list that have ended. Let me check the clock here. We got 3.5 minutes, so that's pretty good. So I was watching this Rave Reviews Michael Jordan card, sold for $19,800 in a PSA 10. Very popular card, but I'm going to show you guys this card for a second because, in my opinion, it's just a terrible representation of him. Now, I don't know if you can see this. It's not really working. I'm not able to zoom in on it, I guess. Whoop. So anyway, if you can see here, his face is like cut off. I just don't like the card. But I wanted to see, and this card was actually supposed to be a die cut, but I guess they ran out of, time, money, whatever it was at the end of the production run, and they just didn't get it into the die cut machine, and they've got these black sections that were, again, supposed to be die cut. Let's go back here. What else was I want? Oh, now we've got all these cards showing up on the ended side of things, which I guess we got to expect. So let's keep on scrolling down here. Here we are. A really cool Power in the Key insert. Michael Jordan PSA 9 sold for $1,700. I was watching that. A Kobe. I watch a lot of cards, guys. A Kobe Bryant, Bowman's Best Refractor. I just like to gauge the market. Sold for $1,182. Again, Ken Griffey Jr., a player I like to watch. Some cheaper PSA 9 card inserts from the 90s that sold. Here's this one's called All or Nothing, Preferred Tidal Waves, neat looking cards. Here's one, $5,100 for a Flair Showcase Legacy Collection Row 0, numbered out of 100. Again, that's very rare for the 1990s, sold for $5,100. If this was the Michael Jordan card, it would get $60,000 probably. Embossed Refractor, Ken Griffey Jr., PSA 10, $2,000. Here's a Shaq Skyonyx for $122, PSA 10 sold. We got a minute left here. I'm showing you guys these because I'm going to delete them all from my watch list right after. The Motherlode, Ken Griffey Jr., $54 cheap. Look at this, a PSA 9 tops traded Tiffany Berry Bonds did $3,600. A Jack Hughes Young Gun, PSA 10, $418. That's a lot of money for that card right now, I feel. $381 for the Quinn Hughes, his brother, the defenseman. Nathan McKinnon Young Guns PSA 10 did $1,625. That's right around where it should be, in my opinion, relative to the Sidney Crosby and the Ovechkin and the McDavid Young Guns. We have 53 seconds here. Here's a Nikita Kucherov, again, a guy who won the Art Ross Trophy a couple years ago, $510. Matthew Tkachuk from my hometown Flames. Cup rookie does $233. Very low, in my opinion. Here's an MJ Molten Metal Explosion for $1,025. PSA 9, a 1993 Top Stadium Club Beam Team, $700. This is, I collect these cards, so I watch them. I did not buy this or win this card. I actually forgot about it, as happens on a regular basis with me. All right, we got cards ending here soon. I'll come back to comments. Thanks, peeps. 1225. The next card we're going to see is this Don Cherry rookie card, which we saw a pre-rookie earlier on. 6. We're 1253. 5, 4. Any more bids? There's one. Oh, one last second bid. 14.25 on that. We have 12 seconds on Don Cherry O-Pee-Chee PSA 9. It's at 1,058. Will it go higher? I'm going to guess it will. There's a... Sorry, was that a bid? I looked away. No, nothing more. Lanny McDonald, tough card. PSA 10. Sorry, PSA 9. 11.25. Clark Gillies, if the mayor of Canada is watching right now, his favorite New York Islanders, Clark Gillies, was the winner of 4 consecutive Stanley Cups from, I believe, 79 to 83, something like that, or 80 to 83. I love this card. I love the 75 O-Pee-Chees. So simple in their design. I just, so easy to read. The name across the top, the puck on the bottom left, the player's name at the bottom. I just think it's a very nice looking year. And I know it, I didn't like it for a long time. The look grew on me over the years, but I just think it's a beautiful looking card. Let's see if we get any more bids on this one. I believe it's an underrated card myself. 797. I do own this card, I think, in the same grade, just for disclosure. Not that that's mine or I'm buying it. And then we move on to his teammate, Brian Trottier. This guy's got 5, 6 cups, something like that, both with the Islanders and with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then I believe also as an assistant coach. So we'll see what happens here with this card. I think it might go a bit higher, but then we have maybe the best player from the Islanders dynasty being Mike Bossy in a PSA 9 coming up afterwards. And then I'm going to reload because I got more to reload. You're noticing we're getting a little light up here on the top ribbon. 13 seconds on the Trottier. Can we have any more bids? Oh, 15.25. Last second bid, 1575. Looks like that's it. Is that it? Let it spin. Let it process and spin. That's it. 1575, 797 on the Gillies. The Lanny McDonald did 11.25. The Don Cherry did 1083 for the PSA 9. Larry Robinson, 14.25 for the PSA 9. And now we're at Mike Bossy, 1770 currently for a PSA. This card was, $600 for several years. And now, as you can see, it's tripled basically. And I think we'll see another bid or two. Next up, we're going to move on to a Wayne Gretzky in a PSA 7, followed by a Wayne Gretzky in a PSA 7, 0.5. Then we have a Ray Bourque O-Pee-Chee PSA 10, a Mark Messier O-Pee-Chee PSA 10, and then a Ray Bourque Topps PSA 9. We're going to watch. 22 seconds left on the Bossy, and then I'll get to your comments, guys. And we'll have a short break, I believe, in between the 1980 card and whatever we're going to watch next. 9 seconds on the Bossy, $1,770. A really tough year for centering. This card isn't even perfectly centered. 21.25, $2,200 at the last second. We have 2 minutes there. So I'm not surprised, $2,200. It's basically gone up 4 to 4.5 times what it was before. We've seen the skyrocketing of cards across the board. So nice to see that for the Bossy, and not great centering as far as 9s go on that copy. So could be worse. All right, we have 2.5 minutes there. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Nick says, thanks for your answer. So if a 2 of a card sold for $6,000, how much should you pay for an authentic? You don't want to overpay. So tough to say, Nick, just without knowing the card and what it looks like specifically. But the authentic card could be a lot nicer than the PSA 2. So, but it's probably going to sell for less. So what would you pay? I don't know what I do not know the answer. That would have to be on a case-by-case basis. I don't have a general rule in mind. Tom says, can't believe Young Guns of Ovi, 5 Crosby, 5K. I know. Eli, thanks, buddy. Great to have you. Billy, currently the high bidder on the Joe Thornton Black Diamond, not feeling confident. Yeah, those are rare, man. I know you've been chasing them, so good luck to you on being able to get one of those, to secure one tonight. Nick says, what's the difference between PSA authentic and authentic altered? What one is more valuable and collectible? I mean, no one really asked the question, which one's more valuable between those two types of slabs, but in my opinion, it really depends on what the card looks like. How was it altered? Was it a trim that is barely noticeable? Like, if the trim cleaned up some edges, but the rest of the card was really nice. I mean, that's a card that's, you know, depending on what card it is, I'd welcome into my collection. I'm talking a 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, like iconic cards I would have trimmed. Other ones, maybe not as much for myself. Fresh Bread, I tore up my Corey Hirsch rookie card when he lost to Sweden in the Olympics. No, wasn't a big mistake. You're just fine. You're just fine. Check it out, guys. That Gretzky PSA 7 just hit a bid, $9,400. We got 42 seconds still. Yeah, the Jordan is terrible looking. I agree, but it's popular still. 2012 Panini Anthology Gold Prism Sidney Crosby at $7,500. I know. Who is that? Who said that? Please let me know. Ryan O'Hara, the Fred Penner's on the list tonight. We're going to watch that. Don't worry. C. Eddie B. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like the guy you mentioned, I don't mind the OC designation. For me, it's more about how the card came out of the pack. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'll talk to that in a second. Bring back Pro Set. Okay, I'm going to leave that one up. Here we go, guys. 8 seconds on the PSA 7, Wayne Gretzky. It's at 9,400, right around where they've been selling lately. Lots have sold. Oh, wow, that's a bit of a jump to 12-1. And let's have a look at this card. We have 57 seconds still. 12-1 on the PSA 7. That's not the most it's sold for, but that's higher than the average. And now we have the 7.5. So if the 7 just sold for 12,100, what should the 7.5 sell for? I'm going to think about $16,000 to $18,000 would be my guess. Definitely more than the 7. Again, the 7 did 12-1. The 7.5 isn't even there yet. So we know we're going to see some bids here. Let's see. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and let's see what anyone else guessing on this one. We have 22 seconds. Justin says 15.5. I think that's a really solid guess, Justin. For the side, I hear you. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Yeah, Justin was close on the PSA 7 Gretzky. Here we go, guys, on the 9, on the 7.5, 11,157. Are we any more bit? There we go, 14,350. Last second, 14,350 it looks like. I'm surprised. I thought that might go higher. Okay, next up in 3 minutes is the PSA 10 O-Pee-Chee Ray Bourque. We will come to that. Some more comments in the meantime. Let me go back up. Where do we leave off here? Back to Pro Set. Sports card review. Watch party. Should check out Probe Scene 123 and the Serena that is going to end within the hour. That is a mass-produced card that is putting crazy prices. Thanks for letting me know. Let me, I will bring that up right now. Let's find that card here. We'll just go this way. And we're talking Serena Williams. What was it? Was it it must be a PSA 10. Let's see what we find here. Here we go. So yeah, let's bring that one up. When does this end? 39 minutes. I'm going to move this to the end. Yeah, we will watch that one. We'll still be around. Back to the Ray Bourque. We have 2 minutes. Superbad says, what should I do with my Connor McDavid second-year exquisite patch auto? Keep it, love it, enjoy it. I mean, great card. Evan Thomas just traded my Lafreniere Artifacts SSP for Jason Tatum PSA 10. Feels like a win-win. Love the hobby. Are you targeting any prospects? Personally, I don't target very many prospects. I don't like to ride that wave. The volatility of young players. I've done it. I prefer to really collect / invest in either proven players, or when it comes to young players, I'm not so much into their commodity type of rookie cards as much as I'm into rare inserts and parallels for myself. Ovechkin PSA 10 Young Guns just ended at $6,000 US. Thank you, Adam Crawford. That's big. That's big money for that. More than I've seen it sell for before. Snap CX Potvin was the best New York Islander. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely there's definitely a case for that. I mean, you know, and a defenseman, right? Defensemen don't get the hobby love, but they should. I believe they should. Justin, there we went. There we went. Jason Field had a nice Don Cherry card that I had him sign years ago. Any thought on whether that would increase or decrease? Well, Don Cherry's old, and he's only getting older, which is obvious. So he's going to, you know, his years are numbered, I would say. And when that happens, he won't be signing anymore. So there, you know, I think there is room for that to increase. 2,200 in line for the Bossy. Thanks for confirming, Justin. Billy tells us Bossy scored 50+ goals per year for 9 straight seasons. Absolute insanity. Yeah, I mean, that is absolute insanity. We have 20 seconds left on this Ray Bork. The last 2 copies I saw of this card both sold for over $20,000. So we're going to find out if those were fake or real, I suppose. Before that, 2 copies had sold for just under $8,000. So this is still higher than those 2. 10-6. Can it 12-6? There we go. Any last second bid? So someone just bought this for half the price almost as previous copies had gone for. $12,655. Kind of makes you go, And now we have the Mark Messier PSA 10, 18,000, which is, the last copy sold for 24 or something like that. So this is likely to get another bid or 2. Centering doesn't look perfect to me. This might be one of Sean Chalk's cards, not sure. But we have a few minutes there. Oh, here we go. More. Oh, here's some of your guesses, guys. Peeps guessed 18,000. Brent, this is on the Gretzky PSA 7.5. Brent guessed 14.3. John 16.1. Get Swifty said 13. Frank DeStasi just won the Gretzky 7.5. Hey, congratulations, Frank. How cool is that, guys? The winner of the, and I think you got a good deal on it. I think you got a good deal, Frank. I really do. I mean, I think that card is legitimate. We all know it's worth what you paid, or it's what it is. But if I had to guess, I mean, I was right around that $17,000 mark. So I was a little bit high, but congratulations, man. Seriously, really happy for you. Yeah, you should be stoked. That is awesome. Great card. I own a copy myself. I'll tell you guys a story. I have a PSA 7.5 Wayne Gretzky rookie. I owned a shop, as many of you know, in the early 90s. And I always sort of traded up. Whenever a Gretzky rookie came in, if it was nicer than the one I already had, I would keep it for myself and put mine into the showcase. At the end of the store's run in around 1994, the best copy I had was this copy that I ended up getting graded in 2008. It came back at PSA 7.5. And I still own it. Very, very happy I still own it, of course, because I'm probably into it for $200 sort of thing, $300 maybe, if that. And but I almost sold it one time at the Summit show in Edmonton. I had it with me. It wasn't out on display. A gentleman came by, asked me if I would sell him if I had a Gretzky card to sell him. I said, well, I have one, but I don't want to sell it. He said, well, give me a price on it. I said, well, and at the time it was selling for like $800-900. I said, well, I guess I sell for $1,500. And he goes, okay, I'll take it. And I'm like, actually, man, I'm sorry. I thought you'd say, no, I can't sell the card. And I didn't. So I reneged. And I admit that. But I just didn't want to sell it. And to this day, I'm, of course, there's emotional value on cards like that you've had for so long. And I think it's the only time I've ever kind of put a price out there and then said, actually, man, I just can't sell the card. I won't be able to sleep. So I didn't. I kept it. And I felt bad. But hey, sometimes you got to just kind of do what you got to do. And in that case, I couldn't let it go. And today, I'm very glad I still have it. We have 12 seconds left on the PSA 10 Mark Messier at $18,000. There's a bid. Any more bids? There we go. There's a $7,000 bump to $25,500. And that's going to be the most that card has ever sold for. Now we have the PSA 9 Topps Raymond Bork. Same card as the O-Pee-Chee, except it's got the black over the little puck there. 12 seconds. I expect this to get at least one more bid. I don't know why. I just think it should. It's been sitting at this number for a little while. Any more bids? And no. $787 for the PSA 9 Raymond Bork. $25,500 for the Mark Messier. That's a big number. Okay, so we have this Serena Williams up there still, guys. I'm going to just take that off for a few minutes, and I'm now going to reload us with the next round of cards to watch, because there are still a bunch more that I want to go through that are going to be ending during the show. So we've got 3 minutes. I'm going to start, as I mentioned, loading up my my bar there with a whole bunch more cards. We've got some 82s. We got some 83s. We got some 84s, some 85s. And again, we're going to go right up until a couple years ago here. So I'm just doing that whole right click, open a new tab sort of thing. I do have one PSA 10 O-Pee-Chee Premier Jagger that we're going to watch. We've got some Martin Brodeur. We got a Black Diamond Alexander Ovechkin rookie. We have the BGS 10 Pristine SP Authentic Sidney Crosby we're going to watch. Couple of young guns, Crosby. We got a couple of Ovechkin young guns still to come tonight. So we'll see how if we can do $6,000 again. Got some Patrick Kane, some Carey Price. So we're going to see a lot of awesome cards that are going to change hands tonight. I really like this. We got a Patrick Kane Young Guns exclusives. If anyone out there is not familiar with the Young Guns parallels, there's two parallels to the Young Guns. There's the exclusives and the high gloss. And the exclusives is out of 100. The high gloss is out of 10, making it a total whale of a card. What just happened there? Let's see. All right, all of them, my tabs are all, some of them are still thinking, but that is okay. All right, so we have a whole bunch more cards queued up, guys, ready to go. So in the meantime, let's bring up the first one, which is going to be a Grant Fuhr. So Grant Fuhr, here we go. There it is. Grant Fuhr, again, Hall of Fame winning goaltender. He won all those cups with the Edmonton Oilers. Great card, $980, PSA 10. Let's see what happens here. All right, JC, love the Borg and the Neely. Yeah, we're going to be watching the Neely as well tonight. Serena sold for $14K. Old label Bork, PSA 10 looks centered. Good to know. Terry Tops PSA 8 Gretzky went for $8,200 tonight. Bure Young Gun is the only rookie card underpriced. It's his only rookie card. Underpriced, probably. Pavel Bure, I mean, he had a shorter career, but he was among the best in the league when he was there. Bork is cheap, at least $15K. Agree, $17,400. Peeps, I love and own the Messier card, but don't care for the disclaimer on the label. Oh, I don't care for the whatever that says, the error. I don't care for it either. Here we go. The Grant Fuhr in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ends at 1080. 12 and a quarter in the last second. Here's another copy of it. Does it also get a last second bid? No, doesn't seem to. Here's a Ron Francis at $1,600 and a PSA 10. He is the new general manager of the Seattle Kraken. I want to see that again. 1225 there, 1083. So whoever bought the first one paid a bit more than the second one. Let's see if Ronnie Franchise can get any more bids in the last couple. $2,000. We are breaking records here, people. Next up, Joe Mullen, PSA 10. American-born player, 435, 567. Any further bids? Doesn't seem to be. 567. Dale Howardchuk, my guy. 1,011.50 for the PSA 10. 1535. There's some respect. Here we go. We're going to watch a Scott Stevens card next. I like this card. This is not a very important year as far as hockey cards go. 1983, there aren't a lot of important rookies in it. There's a handful though, but nothing huge at all. This might be the biggest rookie card in the set. You've got a Pelle Lindbergh, you've got a Brian Bellows, a Steve Larmer, a Bernie Nichols, a Guy Carbonneau. There's several rookies in the series of 1983 O-Pee-Chee. And also this year, Topps didn't make hockey cards. This year and the year before were the only 2 years they didn't make hockey cards, during the 80s and the 70s for that matter. So let's see what this Scott Stevens is going to end at. We got 10 seconds. It's at $630, 23 bids so far. Will we see any more bids? There's a bid, 767, and that might end it. Seems to be. Here we have a Steve Yzerman rookie card and a PSA 10. To me, one of the most important rookie cards of the 80s, up there with Patrick Waugh and Mario Lemieux. Probably the third. Well, you have Messier and Bork as well. And you have Paul Coffey and Eric Kerr. There's a few, but this is a big one. $4,400. Any more? $5,200. Congratulations, Steve Yzerman. And we have a break. All right. I'm not disappointed to see a break there. I hope you guys aren't. $5,200 on the Steve Yzerman. Another card that was $900 for years and years and years. Really, up until 8 months ago. And now it's $5,200. So, well, that's one of those it is what it is type of thing. The next card we are going to look at in 6 minutes is this Al McInnes, the second most important card from the Mario Lemieux rookie year set, the 85s. Let's do that. Let's do some more comments. Ryan O'Hara watching the Joe Thornton Black Diamond, a Ginla SP die cut, and Chara. So we are watching tonight. We're going to watch the Joe Thornton and the Chara, but I didn't bring up the Ginla SP die cut simply because It's the non-die cut card that I am more interested in, being the true rookie card versus the RY card on the die cut parallel. You're welcome, Frank. Congrats on that PSA 7.5 Wayne Gretzky tonight. That's an all-time keeper, man. Really happy for you, and super cool that one of the cards that was sold tonight that we're watching, we got the guy who bought it on with us. So congrats to you, Frank. Justin says 20K if centering isn't perfect on the Messier. Well, it went to 25, Justin. I'm surprised too. Yeah, congrats again to Frank. We got a lot of congrats to Frank. Terry, who knows about Gretzky rookies. Big ball. But does Frank's wife know he bought? That's the question. That is the question. She does, and she does. Billy tells us that the Chara BGS 9 is currently cheaper than raw copies have sold for. Yeah, that'll go up because the Chara is a guaranteed Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He's a guy that you're going to remember. I mean, he's like the Andre the Giant of hockey. You're not going to forget this guy, no matter what happens. So I think it's a good card. I own it in the PSA 9 myself. I've had it for a very long time, and it's a beautiful card. I love those. I love the series of SPs from the 94 with Iginla, the 95 with the Alfredson and the Bertuzzi rookie, and the 96 with the Chara rookie, and I think Peter Sikora has a rookie in there. I know there's maybe even Miroslav Shatan was in there. Some really cool, just good-looking cards. Those 90, I think those are the 95s or 96 SPs. Big balls, happy for Frank. Yeah, 25.5. BVG 10 Bork did 9,600. I meant to be watching that. I guess I didn't get to it. Ryan O'Hara, if you want to win that Thornton and prefer PSA slabs, work a trade. There you go. You're in Canada. These are all US dollar prices. That is correct. Big ball, that is correct. I have my eBay set to US. I just got to text the girl before I get, and we'll see you back here soon, Justin. Frank says, what do you think the Eisman PSA 10 will go for? I'm tempted. Sorry, we're a little bit late on that. Frank, did you buy it? Did you buy it? It went for 5,200, I think we saw. Ready to hear these ending auctions. Yeah, well, did you just get here, Lee? Because we've been going for a while already. We've had a ton of them already, man, and still more to come. We've got about 25 left that I got queued up here. The next one's in 3.5 minutes. It's going to be the Al McInnes PSA 10. The Coffee PSA 10 did $6,500. Yeah, that seems a little low to me, actually. James Ivey, good evening to you. 90s hockey, you'll get your Scott Stevens one day. The Coffee PSA 10, yeah, I should have had that one up. That's my bad. My bad. Big Al, a fellow Cape Bretoner. Yeah, Al McInnes. The 84 Gretzky went for 22. You know what? I somehow was supposed to have that up, but I don't. I think my watch list might have got too full and they deleted some on me because I was over 400. But let's go see. How much time do we have on the Al McInnes? We still have 2.5 minutes there. If Ray Bork cannot command demand, Chara has no chance. Well, Raj, Ray Bork commands demand. So that's not even a question. But the Chara, I mean, I think Chara will. JC, small money, but I got the only Neilio Peachy BGS 9. Congrats. Good price. Do you fart, Joe Mama? Yeah, man. Just like you do. Just like you do. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate the comment. Smart. Very smart. Good price on your Neely. Snap CX. Why is 81 Bork's top so cheap? What was the PSA 9? A PSA 9 O-Pee-Chee would do probably about $2,000 to $2,700 right now, and the tops just gets a lot less money. And I think it's probably because of, and I'd have to look it up because the pop reports may not represent that. It's more or less just general market interest and demand, and it's thought to be a lot rarer overall simply because it's the Canadian version versus the US version. All right, guys, we have 1.5 minutes left on the Al McInnes. If anyone else also has any other cards that you see that you want to look at, I can bring them up if I don't have them already queued up. But we still have a few to go through here. The last card that we're going to go through ends in, I believe, about 20 minutes. So we have at least 20 more minutes of this playing this game. So let's bring back the screen. Here's the Al McInnes. It's at $1,325. You could have had this card. Sounds like a broken record, right? You could have had this card 8 months ago for, I think you could say that sentence on any card right now, any, somewhat important rookie card, and say, you could have had this card for 20% of what it is now pretty easily. So, but I'll keep on saying it because it's fun, Brent Criswell, what's your favorite 90s rookie card? If you're asking me, it's going to be the Joe Thornton Black Diamond. I just think it's a great card. I remember chasing it when it first came out. Al McInnes got another bid. We're up to 1653. But there's lots of cool cards in the 90s, and they're relatively cheap compared to, a lot of other cards because of the junk wax era stigma. We had another bid on the Al McInnes. Will this card hit $2,000? I don't know the pop off the top of my head. Does it say down here? It doesn't. I wish they would put that in all their auctions. Here we go, guys. 8 seconds on the Al McInnes. We're at 17. Oh, there we go. 18 and a quarter. Can we go even higher? 1850. And it looks like we are done at 1850. Next card up is a PSA 10 Patrick Waugh, 1986. Great card. In my opinion, the second most important card from the 80s. I always hesitate because it's Mario Lemieux first. Then you got Patrick Waugh, Steve Yzerman, Ray Bourque, Mark Messier, Brett Hull. And then all the guys from 1981. 1981 is pretty underrated between Paul Coffey, Yari Curry, Denny Savard, Peter Stastny, Andy Moog. It goes on and on. There's a ton in that year. What is your favorite rookie card from the 80s? My favorite card from the 80s era. It's all these. It's the Mario Lemieux rookie card. It's I love the Brett Hull rookie from 1988. All the good ones. Hockey. Any Lucio Borsato. He played for the Winnipeg Jets. I remember Luciano Borsato. I was a fan. I remember watching him play. He had a couple of really good games for the Winnipeg Jets back in the 90s, probably. But Joe Mama, thank you, J-Pogs. Welcome. Raj, are you going to buy more Upper Deck E-Packs? If you're asking me, probably not. I don't buy Upper Deck E-Pack. Nothing against it, just not for me. Billy says, Chara's RC is from a condition-sensitive set, and he was a common bin player for 6 to 7 years before he became the Chara we know today. Yeah, can't disagree with that. Vintage football hot soon? I think so. I think it's only natural that vintage football is going to heat up. And Isaiah says, do you think we will see a jump in prices for the rookie Young Guns checklist? Good question. I'm surprised they haven't seen much of an increase to date. Even the bigger, yeah, they go for dirt cheap. Their checklists. They personally, I have zero interest in them for my personal collection, while I do want the rookie cards of those players. So I don't know. The jury's out. I'm certainly not going to be involved in those prices going up because I'm not going to be putting any bids on them. So 5 seconds on the Patrick Waugh PSA 10, guys. Will we see another bid? I think this might be the most we've seen one sell for. So I'm not surprised. No more bids. And next up, we have a Brett Hull PSA 10. So one of these cards sold earlier tonight for like $4,600. The one before that did $5,000 that I'm aware of. So let's see what happens here. We've got a minute 40 till that one comes. Fresh Bread Sports Car says 81 is an ugly set design. Now, I agree. I am not a fan of the looks of the 81 set. With that said, if you have that card in a really pristine type of condition, it's a lot nicer. See, I grew up with handfuls of those cards, 1980s, 81s, 82s. I grew up with shoe boxes filled with those cards, thrown in, rounded corners, creases, off-centered out of the packet, obviously. So to me, because I've seen so many of them, I find it to be and I've seen so many of them in really bad condition. So I almost think of that when I think of the cards. That said, I have a PSA 9 Paul Coffey in my personal collection, which I think, any serious hockey rookie card collector needs a Paul Coffey rookie. He's the highest scoring defenseman of all time, I believe. I might be wrong on that. Might be Raymond Bourque, might be Nicholas Lidstrom. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure Billy will. Please do. But in any event, Paul Coffey is, the guy won 4, maybe did he win 5 cups? Was he there when they won the 5th? He probably was. It's an important card. Defensemen don't get the love that the goal scorers do, that the forwards do. But I think we're going to see a little bit more love than before as time goes by. And we have some really good rookie defensemen this past season. So it looks like this Brett Hull is going to end at 4,600. Very respectable. Here's a Brendan Shanahan in 10 seconds. And the second most important card from this 88 O-Pee-Chee set. It's at $1,250. Now it's at $1,914. Whoa, shit. Shoot. $1,964 is the ending price on the Shanahan. And that takes us to Joe Sakic, one of my favorite cards from the 80s. However, not this copy, not the O-Pee-Chee. I prefer the Topps copy this year because they are just rarer. There were fewer of them printed, is my understanding. And I really think the PSA. So I'm not sure the population of the O-Pee-Chee, but this is in, it's in the 150 to 250 range, probably somewhere there. Whereas the Topps version, there's only 17 copies. I own 2 of those 17. And I bought them a while ago. That's how much I believe in that card. And $785 for the O-Pee-Chee PSA 10. I mean, that was a $100 card every day of the week, in June. You could buy stacks of that for $100. Again, there we go. Talking about what we could have done. Here we have a Jaromir Jagr. I mean, this guy is the third all-time scorer, I believe second or third all-time scorer in the NHL. He's an absolute legend. He's an icon. And this card has sold as high as $800. Let's see if that will continue. I'm hesitant to think it will, simply because it's at $480 with 2 seconds left. And $565. So somebody didn't want to see it sell for $480. We next have, this is the Score Canadian version, Martin Brodeur. Now, there's 2 versions of this card, the American and the Canadian version. The only difference in this card on the front is that where it says Score here, you can see it's in red, whereas the American card, it's in blue. So when you're looking for this card, if you want the more desirable, the more valuable of the 2, make sure you're buying this card with the word Score right here in the top right corner of the card in red. And you need to know that he is the winningest goaltender of all time. Okay. This guy is he's a Hall of Famer. People argue who's the best goalie of all time, Martin Brodeur or Patrick Waugh or my favorite Dominic Hasek. But a lot of people are going to tell you Marty Brodeur. And this is a very important card. And it's junk wax era. So nice to see it getting $300. There we go. You could have had that card for $80. And now we have a card that I was actually thinking about. This is not a card that I'm watching on my watch list for this show tonight. This is a card I'm watching on my watch list for me to buy because I like PSA 10 inserts of Wayne Gretzky. I'm not convinced that I love the look of the card, and it's a little dark, but I find oftentimes that these darker sets, these cards that look dark in pictures, can oftentimes look a lot better in hand. So I mean, that's a pretty nice card, right? Like the colors are pretty cool. So let's throw in a bid. Let's throw in a bid just to see where we're at. I usually don't bid till the very last second, but let's see what happens. Outbid. Let's try again. So now people are going to think I'm shilling. I'm not, obviously. Not people who might look at the bid history on this might, oh, you're just ticking away, right? But I'm certainly not. Okay, where the high bidder is $66. Probably not going to bid anymore. Let's see what happens on that. I'm the high bidder. All right. I forgot about this card. Didn't think I was going to bid on anything in front of you guys, but that's okay. I don't mind. So we had this Brodeur. We'll get rid of that. We have a minute and a half here. Let's go to some comments. Hockey. 80s hockey are some of the most beautiful cards ever made. I agree. Why do people hate 81? I don't hate 81, but if you're ranking the beauty of the sets in the 80s, 81 is near the bottom of the list for me. That's for me. And that has to do with, I grew up anticipating the release of these cards every year. Could not wait to see what they looked like. I remember the first time I saw the 82s, going to the drugstore and buying a couple packs, opening up to see what they looked like and being like, I don't love them. I remember I didn't love the looks of those cards, but they had the Dale Hawerchuk rookie, which is an important card for me. So I like it, and it's certainly grown on me. Cool. I'm glad you do. I'm glad there's people that really like it. That's the beauty of the hobby, guys. We don't all have to like the same thing. There are a million different ways to approach this hobby. Let me rephrase. There is an infinite amount of ways to approach this hobby. That's what makes it so cool. None of us do it the same, and that's the way it needs to be. And I think we should all be happy that it does. I guess I'm outbid here. Did I get outbid? No, I'm still the high bidder at 67. Hockey. Fernando Tatis are probably auctioning high after the. Yeah, I heard about that 14-year deal. Congrats to that team. It's a Bork. It is Bork. Yeah. Bork is higher scoring. There we, okay. I'm outbid. I'm not going to, I'm done. Oh, look at that. I'm way, oh, whoa. I wasn't even close. See, I don't even know much about this card, but there it goes for $202. Way outbid. Next card we're going to look at is the Black Diamond Alexander Ovechkin PSA 10. It's at $2,000. This card is a lot rarer than the Young Gun in a PSA 10 holder. I don't know the population, but trust me when I tell you this card is rare. Condition sensitive. I was lucky I pulled one of these out of a box from Maple Leaf Sports Cards in Calgary back in 2006 or 05, whenever this product came out. Pulled it. I no longer own a copy of this card. I moved out of it a long time ago, but I wanted to watch it because this is one of these ways where when the Young Gun gets as expensive as it does, there are so many other options for us as collectors on rookie cards to purchase of those players. And half the time, the cheaper options are rarer cards. I don't know. I don't want to say something's wrong there because the demand for Young Guns is just so high. It's like the everyman card type of thing. But does it make sense? I don't know. I see value in a card like this simply because of the rarity of it, the condition sensitivity of it, and the fact that the Young Gun is $5,000 or $6,000. $2,350. Is that it? $2,350, less than half the price of a Young Gun. I don't know the populations, but if someone wants to go out and compare them, let's see if there's twice as many of these as there are Young Guns. I guarantee it's the other way and probably to the extreme. All right, guys, here's a huge card. Sidney Crosby, SP Authentic, Future Watch Auto, numbered out of 999. To me, his best rookie card outside of the Cup. And it's in a BGS 10 holder, which is going to get it a significant premium. This card's at $18,200 right now. I believe the PSA 10 is worth about $9,000 if you look at the last time one sold. So we're about to see what happens. This is one of these cards that the investors are looking at, and they should be looking at if they're not. This is great for the fractionals, for the private equity funds coming out. People who are looking to put $100 million into the hobby, you may as well put 20 grand into this card. And there's 20 grand into this card. Any more bids? 20,600 it seems to end at. Here's his ultimate rookie card, a beautiful card, and only 299 of these made. 3,100 for a BGS 9. And now we're on to some Young Guns. 4,500 on that one and 4,500 on this one. So we got two Crosby Young Guns we're going to watch. And then we've got two Ovechkin Young Guns that we're going to watch. So we've got 27 seconds on this Crosby Young Gun. It's at $4,500. Jeremy broke down and got a coffee. Good job. I've had the coffee for a long time, I think. Pretty sure I've had it for a while, Terry. He won with Pittsburgh. Good. Chara just popped to 366. I didn't. Oh, good. Okay, so it's coming up here. 4,500 on the Crosby. Any higher? No higher. And here's the second one that's already more than that last one by $50. That one did not go any higher than 45. And I have no idea why that happens. Like, I often wonder, are people seeing things on these cards condition-wise? Well, with these Young Guns, it's super hard to really see any flaws unless they're on the edge of the full bleed type of, or the bottom border. Otherwise, it's tough to see. 4,800. The last one went for 45. 4,850. Someone didn't like missing out on the last one. 4,850. And now here we are in the Ovechkins. 4,660 bucks. That one did not get any last split second bids. We're at 4,658 on the Ovechkin for 27 seconds. Bork scored 40 more points. I think Makar, Hughes, and Heiskanen are going to put some respect on D-men price. That's exactly what I think too, United Stats. Heiskanen, you've got Hedman. I mean, but I'm with you on those three guys, Makar, Hughes, and Heiskanen. To me, Heiskanen is an amazing defenseman. He hasn't done much this season yet, although they haven't played many games. Look at that, 5,200 for Ovechkin. Ovechkin outsells Crosby now. That's kind of a new phenomenon. It's been back and forth over the years, actually. And here's a second copy. It's at 4,850. That one finished at 5,208. There's $5,000 on this copy. And, this is a card that was not over $1,000 too long ago. 12 seconds on this for $5,000. The next up is going to be a Anze Kopitar Young Gun. There's another bid. 5102, 5300 on the Ovechkin. 55. Are you kidding me? Wow. $5,500 on the Ovechkin and a minute on the Kopitar. So we're going to close that up and close a couple of these. So we have 60 seconds there. Sweet jar. I think this card is so overpriced. It's a beautiful card. Which one? The Black Diamond, maybe? Sorry, guys, I'm behind on the comments, but there are so many of them available relative to 80s cards. Jagger still playing pro hockey in the Czech Republic. Yeah, he's like 55 years old. Just inventory here in Florida. Can't find hockey hobby boxes. Oh, boy, I'm way behind on the comments here, guys. I got to apologize. Amish Dave. See the Brodeur bump. It's off center. Marty made Vezina look like an amateur because you've seen Vezina play, right, Fresh Fred? There's no video on Vezina. I don't think there's any video on Vezina. He played until the early 20s. 10 seconds on the Kopitar. Anze Kopitar has like been the leader of the LA Kings for many years now. You know, between him and Drew Doughty, maybe Dustin Brown, there's an argument there too. $250. I mean, compared to what these other guys are selling for, this is a pittance of a price. $270. Here we have a Patrick Kane Young Guns, you know, one of the best American-born players of all time. PSA 10 is going to do $1,650. I think that's right where it should be, right around the Nathan McKinnon. Here's a Carey Price. The goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens is at $960 and pops to $1375 in the last second. We have a couple Jonathan Taves, who for the longest time was worth more than Patrick Kane, but that has switched around. And we're going to do $730 on that PSA 10. And are we going to crack 600 on this one? There we go, 660. And this is the PSA 10 Patrick Kane Young Guns exclusive. So this card, as you can see at the bottom, it's got the UD exclusives foil stamp along with the serially numbering out of 100. So this is much rarer than the regular Young Gun. And this is sitting at $4,650 with 8 seconds left. Let's see if it gets any final second pops. Wow, there's one. 6,900. There's another one. See, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that makes sense to me, you know, in the context of everything else going on. Here's a Victor Hedman talking about great defensemen. He won the Conn Smythe trophy, the Conn Smythe for the best player in the playoffs last year. $433. I think that's maybe a little low. A really nice Patrick Kane limited logos, $450. Not rookie year. That's a third-year card, but I just thought the patch was too nice not to watch. And this is a big boy here, guys. This is the card I was talking about earlier that I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy it when I saw it at like $1,500, and then it was at like $2,200 earlier today. I thought, okay, maybe. And then it was a $5,000. Now it's a $7,500. I'm out, even though I could see the next time this card sells going for $10,000. Or $20,000 even. So who knows? But we have 20 seconds on this. A couple more left after that. I'm going to guess that this gets more bids. I could see this doubling still. No idea. Could be totally wrong. Time will tell. 7 seconds and we will know. 4, 3. There's a bid. 2, 1. And there we go. $9,769. Here we have an Nathan McKinnon, just a simple Fleer Showcase rookie at a $499 in the PSA 10. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about this. $317, guys. $317. But before we come back to that, let's look at this. Here's this sold for $1175. It's his Prism Cracked Ice. Decent card, great card, decent price on that, I would say. But I want to just show you this card here. Nathan McKinnon, in my opinion, is currently, you know, in the top 3 players in the NHL. Some people argue he's number 1. Between him and Connor McDavid. We saw his young guns in a PSA 10, and there's lots of them. I don't know the population, but there's lots of them. His PSA 10 young guns sells for about $1,700. There's thousands of those printed. There's more of those submitted to PSA for grading than the rest of his rookie cards combined. I mean, I don't have evidence on that, but I'm probably not wrong. This is his rookie card. This card is numbered to 499, as you can see there. You know, maybe 5% of the young guns, maybe 1% of the young guns, who knows? It sold for $317. His young gun sells for $1,650. So, you hear people say everything's gotten expensive. There's no, people are upset that there's no deals to be had. People are upset that they're priced out of things. Well, you might be priced out of the Young Guns, but the fact of the matter is this card here is way rarer than the Young Guns. You know how many were printed. You can easily find out how many PSA 10s there are. My guess is there's well under 50. There might be under 10. I don't know. Someone can maybe let us know. I have no clue. But the fact is that it's sold for a fifth, a sixth of what the Young Gun sells for. People are buying what everyone else buys. It's what happens, and it's not necessarily bad. But my point is there are still options out there. If you think you're priced out of things, you don't have to have the Young Guns. I mean, maybe you do. I won't talk for you. Maybe you do have to have the Young Guns. I don't have to have the Young Guns. I'm happy. I'd be probably just as happy with this card. And to me, at $317 compared to $1,650 for the Young Guns, there's huge value built in there. Anyway, just some thoughts on that. And this isn't the only example of where, now the card is not as nice, perhaps, although it's not ugly, I don't think. I mean, it's not a hideous looking card by any means. If you like that script, the kind of the cursive script with his name at the bottom, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't hate it. A fair option, a really fair option. So, and then we had this cracked ice, this Panini Prism cracked ice, some sort of parallel, not to me, not the nicest Prism parallel that I've seen, but it's not bad looking at all. And it's second year Prism. It's a rookie card. It's a rookie year card, I should say, because it's probably not going to get the RC designation, but it should very squarely get the RY designation. And I think it's a decent card. $11.75. I wouldn't want it for that. But again, this card sold for well less than the Young Gun sells for, and I guarantee you the pop on it is a fraction of what the Young Gun is. I would have to think. So there we have it, guys. Oh, we had that Serena Williams. Let's see where that went. Here it is. We have a minute left on the Serena Williams. So we'll see if that pops anymore. Get it. I missed the Gretzky. So where did I guess I got over my watch list, guys. I had over 400 items in my watch list, so I just wasn't able to pull up a bunch of them that I wanted to, but like many of you, I will definitely be going back and seeing what some of these cards sold for. It's more fun for us if you bid. Well, I'm glad I got to bid on one card for you guys. The chair is going to go crazy. I would like to see what that sold for. You don't like 82s? Yeah, that's fair, Sean. Totally fair. Definitely rarer. I just lost a Thornton at $11.75. Sorry to hear that, Billy. Sorry to hear you didn't get your cards. The Young Guns are just overrated at this point. I like them. The market is maybe too exuberant for it. Yeah, the market's excited about them because it's the everyday card. It's the card everybody seems to want. Okay, guys, come back. Here's the Serena Williams. We got 9 seconds on the Serena Williams. It's at $7,300. Any last second bids? 76. That's it. I mean, isn't that crazy? I have a box of this stuff sitting somewhere unopened that I bought, a box of the Net Pro. I think it's the same stuff. Pretty sure. Where did I put it? Where did I put that box? Oh, I don't even. Oh, I don't know. It's here somewhere. Here it is. See, I have this box of Net Pro Tennis. I bought this from Eastridge Hobbies. Price tag is still on there. $30. I just bought this like in the summertime, and it's unopened. I've kept it sealed because it's got the Anna Kournikova on the back. Let me just stop the screen here. It's got the Anna Kournikova jumbo card on the back. Paid $30 Canadian for this box, so like $25 US. And is there possible that I've got a $7,600 Serena Williams card in there? I mean, it's still 2003. I think it's the same thing. I'm not sure. There might have been another version of these, so perhaps it isn't. But in any event, that's kind of cool. Joe Thornton, Upper Deck PSA 10, just did $710. Yeah, that's big for that card. Get Swifty. Crosby hitting 18,000 for the BGS 10. Yes. At least this is actually rare, like a young, unlike a Young Gun. No doubt. Young Guns just are not rare. All right. You'll take the Net Pro box, Jordan. I'm sure, for sure. Hey, Dave Kaplan, welcome. We just finished watching a whole bunch of the auctions, the PWCC auctions tonight. That was a lot of fun, guys. Great viewership, by the way. I want to thank everybody for joining. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, let me know. And PWCC lights up eBay every single month. And I told my wife tonight, I said, because I only decided to do this like right before I had dinner. I said, I think I'm going to go do a watch show. And let's just, because I'm watching these things anyway. And I said to her, it happens only once a month. And we were going to finish watching Cobra Kai tonight. We have like 3 episodes left on season 3 of Cobra Kai. She's like, well, I can watch other stuff. You go do your show. I said, okay, thanks, honey. And by the way, this might be a monthly thing now. So we'll see if you guys like this, we can do this more often. It's the same set. Thanks for letting me know, Jordan. Crack it live. I'm not ready to crack it yet, Johan, but I appreciate you being here and the ask. Hey, there's the guy who knows about what's what. Yamwax, welcome to the show, my man. Says Serena has great cards, but that base card is kind of overcooked. I prefer the yeah, that's what I thought. There were these numbered versions as well. So, and I don't think I can get the numbered versions in this box, but that's okay. I mean, and when I bought this box, Mike at Eastridge had like, I don't know, 6 or 8 of them. And I thought maybe I should buy them all. I didn't, which is good. Leave some for everybody else. And who knows, maybe the next guy came in and bought them all and sitting on them too. So who knows? For Serena, all these hockey auctions are making me want to consign my Martin St. Louis. Jeremy, your Venus out of 2000 is look. Yeah, thank you so much, Yam, to you for that gift way back. I really appreciate that. Get the Serena. I wasn't getting the Serena. We were just watching. After Young Guns, what are the next top hockey rookies? Well, I mean, if you're looking, when you say after the Young Guns, Luke, if you mean in terms of lower value, there's lots of options. You've got the MVP, you've got the Opeachy, you've got the Victory, you've got Trilogy, you've got Artifacts, although Artifacts is numbered out of 750 and I think is undervalued overall because it's out of 750 and really hard to grade. But to me, my favorite rookie card every year in hockey is the SP Authentic Future Watch autograph, because on-card autos, clean looking cards, beautiful white backgrounds, really nice, consistent type of designs where if you look at an SP Authentic card, you know it's an SP Authentic card. And only $9.99 on-card auto, beautiful. I mean, kind of the best of both worlds. That to me is the card I like. 2003 Net Pro, approaching $500 to $600 USD. What, for a box of this stuff? That's nuts. Thanks, United Stats, for joining. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Sean Johnson. Yeah, I had fun, guys. I hope you guys had fun too. Need more of these? Oh, we need more of these. Well, there we go, big unit. So if we can add in 11, 12 episodes a year with these PWCC nights. Why not, right? John Simone, thank you so much. I'm with Adam Crawford. I'm with Adam Crawford, SP Future Watch Auto. That's where I'm at too. I have 13 of the glossy Serenas and Federers and Nadals. Well, good for you, man. You might be sitting on a gold mine there. Thanks, Yam. I mean, literally paid like $25 US for this, if that. Well, 30 Canadian, whatever that worked out to. Darren Crook says Nathan McKinnon, Young Guns PSA 10 pop count is 604. And total graded is just under 1,000. So 604 PSA 10s. That's more than there were of the Fleer Ultra rookie altogether. There's only 599 of those even printed. So there are options out there. If you're priced out of Young Guns, guys, there are options out there for you still. You just have to kind of look around. And if you're just getting into hockey cards, or if you've been a Young Gun loyalist your whole life and you're just starting to look elsewhere, you got to do some research. But it's not hard to do. Just go to eBay, sold listings, click on it, search for the RC and the player you want, and you'll see what's what. Check it out. The Serena you just saw is going to fall. There's 30,000 of them. Yeah, right? I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised that I agree. It could easily fall. Sean John says Future Watch Auto is the gold standard. I mean, I'm with you. Like, the cup is worth more, and you got the patch, but, I got out of collecting RPAs several years ago. They're just not for me. I didn't enjoy them as much as I once did, and to me, SPA is the way to go. Stealth Shoes was going for this card. And which card were you going for, Stealth Shoes? Which one was it? You're welcome, Brent Criswell. Thank you for joining. You bet, Hockey. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Snap CX. Party at Carlos's house on Friday night. Everyone's invited, no doubt. Everyone check out Because I'm Carl. Guys, check out Because I'm Carlos, all right? Check out his channel. Check out Amish Dave Archer's YouTube channel. Check out the new Cardboard Culture with my boys Amit and Kent. I mean, those are three of the kind of, underground channels, if you were, but provide great content. Some of my favorites. I mean, that's where you'll find me a lot of the time. Andy, my man Andy, saying hello, good evening to you. Luke says, Future Watch autos for sure. I was wondering about non-autos. I'll check out the artifacts and trilogies. Yeah, I prefer artifacts to trilogy just from an aesthetics perspective. I do not like the looks of trilogy that they've been doing recently. I just don't like the design, but there's some great cards that still come out of those packs. But as far as the rookies go, not for me. Stealth Shoes, the 2012 SB Authentic Sign of the Times, Gretzky Messier. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Jason Field. Much appreciated. Is the expo happening this year, says Jordan? Not in May. Don't think it's going to happen in May. Let's look to the November for expo. Possibly, I got to talk to Steve Menzie, who owns it. Maybe he'll do another one or move the November one around. Sean says, have to say, I really appreciate the amount of hockey content on this channel when hockey's often so marginalized elsewhere. Yeah, I noticed that too. Glad you found it, Sean. Glad you found it. Thank you, Jason. You are welcome. Thanks for joining, my man, Al. Always good to see you. Johan, trying to do a deal for Monarch Canvas, but he goes to a week and a half ago. Jump 200, no doubt, right? Amish Dave, there's my boy Amish Dave Archer. You're welcome. See Eddie B. Check out Malone Money Mindset, another great channel out there. Thanks for joining. Bud F, #1 road trip podcast right here. Thank you, Bud F. Thank you so much. Yeah, this was a surprise show, Chris. You're late. So I usually download the audio, upload it to podcasts, and I want to keep doing that. But this is a weird episode, right? There's so much visual on the screen, so it doesn't make sense for me to put this in podcast form. I'll probably do it just because, and if people don't listen, that's fine. But I want to keep the streak going. I mean, this is episode number 81, guys. So keep in mind, Saturday morning, I'm going to be guest hosting on Hobby Hotline. Check that out, the YouTube channel, Hobby Hotline. Other guest hosts on that channel, Brian Gray, Dr. Jim Beckett, Brody the Kid, John Newman, Drew Herndon. There's a whole bunch of guys that come on there and rotate in and out guest hosting. So check that out. And then next Monday, this coming Monday, I'm going to be sitting in with Dustin, the personal finance dad, and we're just going to talk hobby for about an hour on his channel live streaming. So come check that out as well. Yes, there's my boy Vegas Finds. Check out one of my favorite channels. You guys want to laugh while you're watching content, check this guy out. Good evening. Hey, thanks for coming. Glad you made it, Chris. Good to see you. Jordan says, Jeremy, you have a perfect streak of thumbs up on SCL as far as I can tell. That's in the comment. Thank you so much, Jordan. Opinion on the cup worth the buy, says Garrett. The cup is always the most exciting product of the year. Today's cup day, it's like a holiday, right? This is the first year where I'm not on eBay 24/7 watching cards get listed because I'm just a little less interested for whatever reason. And maybe it's the price point. I'm understanding it's anywhere from like $800 to $1,300 a pack. I'm almost scared for people to a degree. Are they going to get the value? I do know there's some amazing content this year. There's a lot of new subsets. We're really creative with it this year. I think a lot of them are super cool. But the rookies aren't quite as big as they've been in the past, but there's still some awesome rookies, in my opinion. So, but opinion worth the buy. I mean, all I'll tell you, I don't know. Everyone has different risk tolerance. Everyone approaches it differently. But for me, I don't think I'm going to buy any tins of the cup this year. I'm saving my money for Skybox Metal Universe as far as opening product goes. Yeah, Vegas finds Dame is too good. Okay. Thank you, Justin. Glad you enjoyed. United Stats says it's fun to finally see a knowledgeable YouTuber talking about hockey. I got back into the hobby 3 months ago and loving it because of channels like yours. Well, awesome, man. Well, come back. Every Saturday we go live. This Saturday coming up, my guest this Saturday, guys, and I'm going to stream it right now on the bottom, is Mike Phillips. He is he's an executive vice president at Upper Deck. I believe he's the executive vice president of sales and marketing. That's a big position at Upper Deck. He's going to be joining me on Saturday night. You're not going to want to miss that. If you like hockey cards, if you like Upper Deck, if you don't like hockey cards, if you don't like Upper Deck, you're going to want to watch that episode. I think we're going to get answers to some things. We're going to find out about a few things. And I've been given the green light to ask a couple of tough questions. Not that I've been given the green light. Billy, who also works there, said that, you're going to get some good information here. So I'm excited about that. So check that out. We have Brian Gray coming back on March the 6th. Leaf CEO, always an exciting show. We have Paul Lesko, who's the Hobbies resident legal analyst, coming on March the 13th. There's more booked, guys. We'll get to those later. And if you didn't catch my episode this past Saturday when my guest was Patrick Bet David, probably my favorite episode so far, guys. What can I say? He's a master interviewer. He's an entrepreneur, and he was just laying down some knowledge on Saturday. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. He's only on for the first hour or so, and then Carvin Chung comes on and tags in for Patrick. So check that out. An amazing episode, one of my a proud moment for me. And he was really complimentary, which really made my day. So I was just super happy about it. Dave, do it. You spoke the cards, the grades, and what you visualize in each card, so it should translate well to audio only. Thanks for that, Dave. I'll definitely do that. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, the cup is far too risky. It is. It's the kind of thing where, it's a thrill. A lot of people save up all year for one cup of the tin. For one cup of the tin, for one tin of the cup. So, but this year they're going to have to save up longer because prices on everything have just gone up. Prices have gone up on everything across the board. So, I think fewer people are cracking it, and I think more people are going to sit on it because of this resurgence of sitting on unopened wax. So tough to say, but you can either hit a home run or you can get really skunked. At the end of the day, though, you're going to end up with something because you're going to get 36 cards out of your case if you buy a 6-pack case, and you're going to find value in there. But if you pay $6,000 for the case, are you going to get $6,000 in value out of it? Maybe. Probably not, though, but maybe. But hey, we all know that's the gamble with opening wax. Dave, I did not watch any cup breaks today. Nothing. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna get caught up and watch some. But F says, y'all talk about Star Stock PSA sub results on a previous episode. I'd love your opinion. I've seen them, like 92% PSA 10s or something like that for the Star Stock A's. I think I saw that, or whatever the stat was. I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, I hope they did well. I hope they did well for them and their customers. But I don't know much more about it to talk about right now. Chris says, cup is good if you pull that year's golden goose. Other than that, it's a huge gamble. It's a huge gamble no matter what. But there's several golden gooses in that set that you can pull. There's several case savers, but there's fewer. There's more case non-savers. More excitement around Cup or Metal Universe. Metal Universe, like by a mile for me. And that's probably just because it's new, right? It's newish, right? We haven't seen a Skybox Metal Universe set in hockey ever. We've seen Fleer Metal Universe. It's the first time we're seeing it. And it's the first time we're seeing a set like it since 2012. So I'm super pumped for Skybox Metal Universe. I care about that way more than I do the cup this year. Condition out of the pack this year is going to be a hot question on Saturday. Yep, we're going to talk about that. Any thoughts around Austin Matthews' best cards? Could be one of the best goals. I know, man. He's got 16 goals already. He scored again tonight, I think. 14 or 16 goals I saw he's got. That he's like ahead of everybody. Austin Matthews is having a year, like a breakout sort of year. Now that would imply that he's never had a good year before, but he has. But I think he's maybe not a breakout year, maybe more of a solidifying year, maybe a year that is actually, confirming what everybody thought and hoped for as a number 1 overall draft pick. He's doing really well. And his cards should follow, right? Is Upper Deck going to do anything to avoid us hobby enthusiasts paying extreme markup on boxes from new product? Good question. I do not know the answer. Earl says, I normally watch a lot of cards in PWCC on my own. Much more fun watching it on your show. Thanks, Earl. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, I think this is a success. So we'll probably do this as many PWCC auction ending hockey nights. I'll do it for sure. Jeremy looked like the Cheshire Cat during that episode after you got those compliments. Yeah, I was. Thanks for calling me out on that. But yeah, it was really nice to hear Patrick recognize my interview technique, and he gave me great compliments on that. So was very happy with that. Got Sports, great to have you. Better late than never. Billy, I wouldn't put serious money into Matthews until he signs his UFA deal. Yeah, because he plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs. As soon as he goes to a non-Original Six team or just a Sunbelt team, could spell trouble. and he might very easily go down to Arizona. He's from the Phoenix area. That may be where he goes to live and play. Who knows? What's the biggest hockey price surprise of the night in your opinion? Asks Justin. I wish I could go through my, you know what it is? It's the PSA 2.5 Henri Richard rookie card. I forget what the price was now, but I remember going, whoa, that was a big price. That's what it is for me. Sean says this year where Matthew shows he's for sure an all-timer, as hard as it is for me to say as someone who hates the Leafs. Hey, Sean, we're in the same club. I don't even like the word hate, right? But I've been an anti-Leaf fan for a long time, but I have so many friends who are Leaf fans that, while it's kind of fun to rib them a little bit, I almost feel bad because they've had so much bad luck since 1967 or whatever it is. But yeah, on the flip side, I'm a hobby first guy. I'm hobby first. So if the Toronto Maple Leafs are doing well and they have good, important players on their team, which they do in Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, those are important players in our hobby, all three of them. I want them to do well for the hobby. When it comes to my hockey team loyalties, I have no loyalty for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I have loyalty to my friends who are Leaf fans, and there's so many of you. I love you guys. But I'm not a Leafs fan, so it's weird. It's like I cheer against them, but for the hobby, I cheer for them. It's a weird way to be. But I got to figure out how to navigate that just in my own head. Justin says the Messier PSA 10 25.5 was nice. Yeah, I think that's the right direction for that card, right? Not crazy more than the last couple sold for, and not less, which is nice to see. Holder, keep Crosby, Young Guns. To me, that's the same question as holder, keep Wayne Gretzky rookie cards. I think you know the answer. But I'm not someone who's going to sell now to buy back cheaper later. I do not predict the market. I just don't predict the market. So for me, I would not. I have a Crosby Young Guns PSA 10, but I'm not going to sell it thinking I'm going to get it cheaper in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, years, whatever it is. So to me, it's a hold, and I will ride the ups and downs. Hey, Greg, welcome to the show. We are well. You found a sealed box of 93 SP. That's very cool. Oh, the baseball. Extra cool. Congratulations. And yeah, I don't think you're going to open it. Garrett says to sell the Crosby Young Guns. Terry thought the PSA 6 Vezina went low. I would have liked to have seen that go higher as well, Terry. I think that as far as hockey goes with the mainstream hobby right now, those early 1900s cards are just not really on the radar yet. Will they get there? Great question. I don't know. Some of them should. I mean, we're talking about the pioneers of hockey. We're talking about the first Hall of Fame members ever for hockey are in those early sets. And, in hockey, you had 3 sets. You had the 1910s, 11s, and 12s. They're called the C56s, the C55s, and the C57s. Yes, in that order. That doesn't make sense, but yes, in that order. And then you have no more hockey cards until 1923, the William Patterson set, where we saw a King Clancy sell earlier tonight. But you have 4 key rookies in that set. You've got Howie Morenz, King Clancy, Oral Joliot, and Jack Adams. All key sets. The trophies and old divisions in the league were all named after. So really great set. And then you have a couple more sets in the 20s. And then you have you have several sets in the 1933, 34, 5, 6, 7. And then pretty much some jumbos in 1940. And then you get into the 51, 52 Parker set. I think people will go back to the early 50s and find importance in those cards when we're talking mainstream investors, that kind of thing. But as far as the early 1900s, I'm just not sure. Austin Matthews is going to keep racking him up if he keeps playing with Jumbo Joe Thornton. You're right. I wonder how much of Joe Thornton's increased card value as of late is due to him playing in Toronto. Let's hear what you guys think about that. Dave, the Gretzky rookie cards, yeah, the PSA 7 did like $12,100 and the 7.5 did, I think, 15,000 something. So they did well. I was expecting the 7.5 to do a couple thousand more, but I was also expecting the PSA 7 to do 1,000 or 2 less. So I think they did well. Yeah, the Henri Richard did $2,575 US dollars for a PSA, I think it was a 2.5. That's really high. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if that card sold for $650, $700, but no, it did 25. But for the last year or two, I've had so many people, and by so many, I mean 4 or 5, which is so many for this card, send me messages saying, hey, do you know anyone who has an Henri Richard rookie card available? I don't. There's people looking for it, so I guess they all went head-to-head tonight to get that. Here we go. Connor McDavid got his 500th NHL point tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. That's a big number for a guy who's only been in the league for 5-6 years. So congratulations to Connor. Halfway to 1,000, which is a really, that's a big milestone in hockey to get 1,000. But there's only like 80 guys who've ever scored 1,000 points in the NHL. And Connor McDavid, barring significant injury, will get there. And 500 is a really nice milestone. Thanks for letting us know, Dave. That's really cool. Joe Thornton is playing like it's 2006. So Joe Thornton's rookie year is like 1997, I believe, 98, 97, 98 in there. And he's playing like he's younger because he's playing for his hometown, the Toronto Maple Leafs. He played his whole career, early career with Boston. The rest of his career was in San Jose, and now he's gone home to Toronto for his twilight. And I think he's got a way better chance of winning there than he did in San Jose. That San Jose team's a bit of a mess. But congratulations to Joe on what he's doing there. And just a nice guy, Joe Thornton. His parents come to the Toronto Expo and walk around all the time. Nice people. Nice people. They've been to my booth. I've talked to them. They're nice people. What do you think about Vegas Dave claims? I think so much about them that I don't even want to talk about them. There's been too much Vegas Dave chatter. So I appreciate United Stats. I hear you, man. I think he doesn't know the future, just like I don't know the future, just like you don't know the future. That's what I think. Enjoy it while it lasts. They say that as a Sharks fan, Jumbo Joe will fade as the season goes. I think the Henri Richard is short printed or something to find a remotely decent condition. Very rare. Yeah, makes sense. Which is the best O-Pee-Chee Gretzky rookie or tops? The O-Pee-Chee Swifty is the one that is much more desirable, mainstream wise. But that's another option, just like we were talking about the McKinnon earlier. That's an option where if you're priced out of the O-Pee-Chee, and I'm not saying you are Swifty, I have no idea. Is Get Swifty a play on Get Shorty? Get Shorty's like, with John Travolta, is like my favorite movie of all time. If you guys haven't seen Get Shorty with John Travolta, you have to see the movie. It's amazing. His character's name is Chili Palmer. My favorite movie character of all time. So cool. But that's John Travolta, so cool. So maybe not his real life. His character is so cool. But yeah, you have, if you're priced out of the O-Pee-Chee, Wayne Gretzky, the tops is a fine option. It's actually a higher quality card in terms of the physical card itself. You don't have any jagged edges on them. It's a nice card. I own one and I love it. Sean says always O-Pee-Chee. Yeah, O-Pee-Chee is going to be the first choice. But again, I think tops is a good secondary option if you want a high grade copy or a higher grade copy than you can afford for O-Pee-Chee. Justin says, I'd say the Gretzky rookie cards were semi-strong tonight when grades are below 8. It's somewhat tough to say, but the 7.75 showed well tonight. Sure. I thought the 7.5 could have done a little bit higher, but it did well. Less of them, more condition sensitive. That's true on the O-Pee-Chee. A guy in New Brunswick hoards Henri Richards. That could be a part of it. JT, I think you're talking about John Tavares' rookie, was trending up before he went to Toronto. They're much higher now, though. Greg says, who would you say are one or two under-the-radar young guns to consider investing from the last 5 years? I mean, I like Elias Pettersson in Vancouver. I like Bo Horvat in Vancouver. I like Sebastian Aho and Svechnikov in Carolina. Be careful with Svechnikov. There's two Svechnikovs in the league. I think they have the exact same name. One of them's in Detroit, I believe. The other one's in Carolina. You want the guy that's in Carolina. Miro Heiskanen. If you can get your head around buying a defenseman, I like Miro Heiskanen. I also really like Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes. Those three young defensemen, I think, are maybe going to help get more love for defensemen overall. I might be wrong, but I like those guys. What else pops to mind? Nothing else pops to mind. There's obvious guys, but nothing else is really popping in my mind right now. Billy, just took advantage of the Jason Spezza bump. Okay. I didn't think Jason Spezza was getting a bump, but if he did, that's awesome. A bit of a mess about San Jose is an understatement. Vegas Dave is just a self-promoter looking for hot takes. And I mean, if he burned a card that's worth $200,000 and he got a ton of content and content value out of that and content value revenue out of that, then maybe it was a worthwhile trade-off for him. I don't know what kind of, revenue he's going to generate from the videos he puts out from that. I have no idea, but who knows? Maybe it's $200,000. Ryan tells us that he doesn't deserve all the attention he gets. He's a punk. Can't disagree, but I don't know him personally. I only know what I see. Let's stop talking about him. I'm for that. 2 thumbs up for Get Shorty. Yeah, Earl, you know it. No problem, Greg. The Andre and Evgeny special. Okay, so they have different names. They're brothers. One is much better than the other. So yeah, you want the it's the Andre Svechnikov in Carolina. I've got some of his cards. I've also got some Sebastian Aho cards from Carolina. I know, again, it's a team that doesn't get a lot of hobby love, but some great young players. I also think Detroit has some good young players, like Dylan Larkin, new captain, like 6th captain of all time, something crazy like that in Detroit. But he's the best player on a very bad team. So, but players get traded, things happen, teams transition, teams get better. So Garrett tells us that Makar is going to change things. He's this generation's Bobby Orr. I mean, that's high praise. And I haven't seen him enough with my own eyes to say that he's this generation's Bobby Orr, but time will tell. And I think there's a very good possibility that he could be. A lot of people, Terry is about to go off on that comment because Terry, Bobby Orr is Terry's God. And Terry, let's see the comment. I need a sip of water, guys. Thank you to Got Sports Guards, who asks everybody to hit the like button. Please do. I always forget about that till the end, but yeah, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, all that jazz. Why, Garrett? Give me your analysis on Cale Makar. Okay, so maybe we'll get that. Gene Hackman is an underrated all-time great. Yeah, he is awesome in Get Shorty. Delroy Lindo is also in Get Shorty. And what's the actress's name again? Very pop. I just can't think of her name right now. Beautiful actress. She's awesome in it. It's such a good movie. Get Shorty. Joe, if you haven't seen Get Shorty yet, my man, you got to see Get Shorty. I could do an episode just talking about that movie. I've literally watched it like a dozen times. I just love it. Travolta is so cool in it. There are two Sebastian Ahos. That's right. Hurricanes and Islanders. You want the guy on the island that you got to be careful about the Sebastian Aho, guys. I forgot. Thank you, whoever you are. If that's still Eli, whomever. Thank you for that. Very important. SWGG Films. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. Thank you for your advice you've given me personally since we met last. My son and I have started our own YouTube account. Please check us out. Williams Top Box Card Breaks. Hey, guys, check out Williams Top Box Card Breaks on YouTube. Apparently, I've inspired or educated, so I'm really proud of that. That's really nice to hear. Let's check that out. I'm going to just quickly write that down or I will forget. So that is Williams Top. That should help me find it. Box Card Breaks. Okay. Thank you, SWGG, and good evening to you and your son. Joe, my man from Santa Cruz, California. Makar needs to put his defensive game together. That'll come in time. United Stats thinks Vasilevsky. Well, Vasilevsky is the goaltender for the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. It's hard for me to think he's under. I hesitate because card-wise, yes. The NHL and the media around the NHL, they recognize how good he is, but the hobby hasn't caught on. And part of it is because they don't know how to say his name. It's a long name, and he's Russian. Unless your name is Alexander Ovechkin or Pavel Bure, that doesn't, being Russian doesn't necessarily help you. Just look at Evgeny Malkin, gets no hobby love, very little. I'll take that back. Very little hobby love relative to his success. John Carlson scored the most points by a D since 1993, which was Brian Leetch at 75 points. Makar has a long way to go and needs a unique situation like setting up Ovi on the power play, but he can set up Mikko Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon, among other players on Colorado. Terry says there will never be a Bobby Orr. I knew you'd say that, which it's hard to think there ever will be, simply because when Bobby Orr came around, he revolutionized the game, the position, and really no one's done it like him, maybe since Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey could skate. Paul Coffey is one of the best skaters in the history of the game, just like Bobby Orr. Paul Coffey could skate and score and pass and do it all. He also had an amazing team to play with, which didn't hurt, definitely. Justin says, I've got to circle back and check out what the Lemieux rookie alt the alternative rookie leaguers went for. Yeah, I was meant to be watching it. I got to plan this better next time, which I will. Learn the first time, get better as we go. That's how I roll. Get Swifty, leave my wings alone. We got Stevie Y back. Yeah, you know what? Having Steve Yzerman back as the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings means one thing. A future of winning. That's all that means. So there may be some opportunities for guys like Dylan Larkin, Anthony Mantha. I mean, I had Anthony Mantha in a hockey pool last year, and he racked it up at the beginning of the season. Then he fell off, but he showed signs of brilliance. So I like that. There's a couple other guys there that just aren't coming to mind right now. Ryan O'Hara, Pettersson is one of the few cards that haven't popped last month or so because the Canucks started so slow. Yeah. So I had an NHL scout on the show back in November, I think. Happens to be my first cousin, but he was an NHL scout for the Florida Panthers. He's no longer with them, but he was for 5 years. And I asked him the question, is there a guy in the league that you think has big potential? He said Elias Pettersson. So I'm going with that for me. Number one, I thought he was a little small. If he gets a bit bigger and he builds out his frame, which he's so young, he still will. He's got the potential, according to what I've seen, but more so relying on my cousin, who's a pro scout, relying on his opinion. I think Elias Pettersson is somebody to keep your eye on. Joe Perot says, any thoughts on non-sports trading cards? They seem to be drawing a lot of interest from various collectors. Yeah, non-sports cards, definitely. We're seeing a lot of wrestling action. We're seeing a lot of talk around Marvel right now. Wrestling, I think it was Brett from Stacking Slabs said it best. He said, wrestling is sports entertainment or athletic entertainment, something like that. Makes a lot of sense to me because it's not a true sport when it's scripted, right? So, but that said, we're seeing a lot of action on Marvel. And so I think, yeah, is that going to spill out? Is it going to go out into other non-sports cards? Like music cards, like Hollywood type cards, maybe not. Time will tell. We met last year at last year's McDavid. We met at the Expo last year, McDavid and Hart cards. I remember doing a deal with somebody on McDavid and Carter Hart cards. So that would have been you. I can't place the face, but I do remember that vaguely, but great to have you. Great to have you on the show. Joe Perot, this is hockey, but that's okay, my man. That's okay. It's more appropriate to suggest that Makar might be this generation's Brian Leach, or Paul Coffey, or change of sport. Yeah, I agree with that comment. Garrett says his foot's a lot of talk about Cale Makar versus Bobby Orr. And it looks like Greg is happy with all the answers. That's wonderful. Adam Crawford says Pettersson has been very unlucky this year. Yeah, he hit like 7 posts in the first 8 games or something like that. So it's just a matter of time till he starts racking them up for sure. Yeah, he leads the league in post hits. I remember seeing that. There'll never be another Bobby Orr, but I think he can be within reach of Bobby's skill and talent. That's a nice way of putting it. Live action stunt show. Not sure what that's in reference to. Pro Set Desert Storm cards. PSA 10 Hussein will sell for $10K. Calling it now. That's a weird one. A terrorist card selling for $10K. I don't want to be the guy that buys that card. I just don't want to be the guy that buys it. And if I did, I wouldn't tell many people. But collectors, we all have our approach. I'm sending in my Marty McFly Back to the Future cards. Maybe E.T. Yeah, we're talking about iconic films that have stood the test of time, right? Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd. I mean, there's some cards there that could definitely be worthwhile. Jordan, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate that. Giamaz, the Lemieux scoring leaders, PSA 10 did $4,100. Bobby Burrell will be happy to hear that. He's really starting to follow some of these non-rookie card, but rookie year cards. Philip Zadina, that's right, on Detroit. That's the guy I was thinking of. Thank you, Billy. Larkin and Mantha are complementary players on a good team, but they're the main players on that team, aren't they? There's no one better than those guys on that team. So unless they bring in better players, the other thing is that maybe they develop into being better than complementary. Yeah, Dennis, last minute show. I only decided right before I had dinner tonight. So, but thanks for joining. Well, Sean, you say it's a joke, but it might not be. I mean, stranger things have happened. Don't even worry about it. It's okay, joke or not. Stranger things have happened. Maybe a Saddam Hussein card sells for $10,000. He's a historical figure, just not one that I would be, I just don't. I hesitate to buy an O.J. Simpson rookie card. You know, one of the greatest running backs of all time. I don't own it. I've thought about it many times. I've never pulled the trigger. Andy wants to know what the biggest surprise from tonight's PWCC auctions was. We did have this exact question probably just before he came in, Andy. That's fine. I'm just mentioning for everybody else. I mentioned for me, it was the Henri Richard PSA 2.5 that did like $2,500. If anyone else has any, throw them up there, please. Thoughts on NBA Top Shot? Would you be open to an NHL Top Shot? Yeah, I'd definitely be open to it. I would be open to it. Amazid, I would be. What would you do with a trimmed alter? I have a trimmed Gretzky rookie. I bought it raw at the Expo in November 2019. It was a very rushed deal. I looked at it. I thought it looked funny, but I didn't look at it close enough, and I bought it off a guy. I think I paid him like $200 for it. It's definitely trimmed. I know it's trimmed. I am going to send it to PSA for slabbing, and I'm going to ask them to just slab it with whatever they have to slab it as. I don't care. Authentic, trimmed, you know, whatever you want to put. I'll take the card in a slab, and eventually I will likely sell it. Or I'll keep it. I have a PSA 8 OC rookie card, actually MC Gretzky rookie that I got in a trade a long time ago. I thought to myself, I'll never keep it for myself, but I'm like, you know, maybe I will. It's still an 8 OC, and it's worth so much more now than it was when I got it. So anyway, just off the top of my head, I have the Outlaws rookie card of Billy the Kid. Yeah, a little bit different. A little bit different, I think. But again, not exactly the friendliest person, but he's just, you know, he's just got that iconic status and culture that I've known about Billy the Kid my whole life. You know, he's someone that it's just that name has been in my whole life. I've been aware of him, so I bought his card. It's a 1952 Topps Look and See. Greg, what's my opinion on MNT grading? Have you used them? I've never used them, Greg. So I don't. You know what? I'd rather not. I'd rather not share my opinion because my opinion is that they have a rough go because they're going up against PSA and BGS, and it's tough to gain market share from those two companies. They are the incumbents. They're not going away, even though people think they will or might hope they will. They're not. PSA is definitely not going away now that the Nat Turner group has taken or is officially going to or has taken control. So, you know, to me, if you live in Canada, it's great because they're Canadian, support Canadian, all that. I get behind that. But you're not putting your cards in MNT or KSA holders for that matter for investment purposes, for value appreciation purposes. To me, I'm sure they're wonderful people that run both of these companies. But for me, I would look at it as an expensive one-touch because, again, I don't know that either of those companies have the experience to authenticate or grade my cards. I just don't. I don't know. I don't have that warm and fuzzy feeling. So for me, it's PSA number one for my personal collection and BGS. I have several of both cards, both slabs in my collection. I have a couple SGCs. I have a couple KSAs. I currently don't own any MNT. Now, I would own an MNT card if I wanted the card, but I wouldn't. I definitely would be buying it the same. I would value it the same as I would value that same card if it was raw. The Richard was yours. Oh, you sold the Richard, Andy. Well, congratulations. That's the one that was the one I was most surprised with. So good for you, man. That's awesome. You did. I mean, what were you expecting, Andy? Can you let us know what you were expecting to get for that card? Because I wouldn't have been surprised. I said earlier, I wouldn't have been surprised if that card sold for $650, $800. I want to hear what you thought it was going to go for. Sean Johnson, I don't collect Bobby Hulls and Doug Gilmours because they seem like the greatest guys off the ice, so I get avoiding some figures for sure. Because they seem like the greatest guys off the ice. That's okay. Well, fair. I interviewed Doug Gilmour several years ago for a No Longer in Publication magazine, and Doug Gilmour was just one of the nicest dudes ever. So I have a bit of an affinity for him. Oh, okay. Here you go. I don't collect. Oh, there we go. I don't collect them. Yeah, I hear you. Make sure to ask for authentic altered, otherwise they won't slab it. Yeah, that's what I want to get on my trimmed Wayne Gretzky. Dave Kaplan says there's money in other entertainment cards, especially autos. Autograph cards, movies, TV, Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars going crazy. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Watch out, guys. Lots of opportunities out there, I suppose. Didn't know PSA or others encase trim cards. Pretty sure they'll send. No, they will. They will encase them for sure. They will. VVV. But you have to, just as Andy mentioned, you have to tell them on the form to mark it as authentic altered. But they will. I've seen them. Is that true? Is that the true crime cards you guys were talking about? Not me. I don't think I've ever talked about true crime cards. Not that I remember this. Garrett says this is before we went to UMass. Okay. Billy, you ran a shop in the 90s. Is it something you would consider doing in this market? Is the idea of a physical shop outdated with the internet? My area is very under. I personally would not want to open up a card shop right now. That's me in my life. And, you know, I have a career. I'm doing other things. I do not want the hobby to become my livelihood. I think I wouldn't enjoy it as much, and I would feel more pressure and stress on my overall life to have to rely on the hobby to pay for my life and to support my family. So I don't think I would. But I think a lot of people are and are looking for it. And it's just so hard to get on open product, and it's so hard to get quality singles. So I would not. There's my answer. Greg, no problem. Thanks for joining. Luke Skywalker. Yeah, like a PSA 7 Luke Skywalker card sold for $1,700 the other day. It's a lot of money for a PSA 7. Garrett says, KSA graded my Gretzky and I sent it to BGS to get told it was trimmed. KSA is dead to me. Won't even look at their stuff anymore. Yeah, you know, do me wrong once and that might, you know, you only really get one chance in this hobby a lot of the times with things like that. And, you know, KSA has been around a very long time. They've been around like as long as PSA. They've been around since the mid-90s at least. And I think they've been through some ownership changes. They have 2 offices, I believe, one in Toronto maybe or somewhere in Ontario, another one in Vancouver. And, you know, they just don't get the respect that PSA and BGS does. And their holders, in my experience, their holders, the cards slide all around, like out of the frame to the top, to the bottom. Just really cheap holders. Thank you, Triple V. Really appreciate that. I loved it too, man. Patrick was just so awesome to have on the show. That was a great episode for me. I really loved it. Darth Vader, good card. Swifty says, I know you might have said it before, but why is hockey cards not getting love as basketball, baseball, football? I'd argue, actually, Swifty, that hockey is now getting more love than football. More love than baseball right now too, but not nearly as much as basketball. When I say more love, I don't mean that it's a bigger segment of the hobby. I mean that the key cards are rising in value now and have risen in value, you know, in concert with the other sports, and if not more so, more than football for sure right now. I would say baseball. I might not say baseball too, but anyway, it's getting a lot more love. It really happened in December. After that, those Gretzky PSA 10 rookies sold, we saw a crazy increase in a lot of the other hockey cards. So they're getting there, Swifty. A lot of us missed the boat on a lot of those cards now. It's just late. We're just late on them. So Andy was expecting $1,000 maximum on his Henri Richard. It ended up getting $2,600, something like that, Andy. I mean, unbelievable. Congratulations. Earl Strohmeyer, who's like an expert vintage collector, says KSA MNT expensive one touches. Oh, you're just stealing that one. Fair. I'll share that with you. Sean Johnson, I wouldn't turn to get my cards graded from KSA MNT, but I do find you can get some great deals buying cards in those holders because they're often so overlooked and less bidding competition. Very good point. If you're still with us tonight, and I'm showing there's still 87 of you. If that's true, that's good advice that Sean is giving you right there. If you are somebody who likes to find arbitrage in, you know, buying raw, getting graded, or, you know, buying PSA 9s to get BGS 95s, or buying BGS 95s to swap to PSA 10s or cross to PSA 10s, this is another option. MNT, I believe, are tougher graders than KSA and maybe even than PSA BGS. So you might, but I've also seen them overgrade. I once saw them grade a 1980 Magic Johnson Larry Bird rookie card, that, you know, with the Dr. J in the middle. The card was a PSA 6, 5 at best, and they gave it I think it was a KSA 8. Sorry, an MNT 8 or a 9. And I was like, you lot right there. That's all it took for me to not give you my business. One card was all it took. And I don't know the guys personally, but I don't think they come from a background of card grading. Who does, though? You got to start somewhere. I get that. But I'm more interested in CSG, who got graders from BGS. They got 2 of Beckett graders to start their CSG division of C, whatever the top company is called, their parent company is called. They just launched a few days ago, but they have two of the most experienced graders in the world. To me, I'm going to trust that more. I'm going to put more value in their third-party grading opinion than I do someone who just starts a grading company out of thin air. WGG, love you too, man. Thanks so much. We'll do it. Going to keep going. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Sean, I consider them at least 1 to 1.5 below. Yeah, I agree. Marcus, welcome, says, what are your thoughts on UFC cards? Also, do you have thoughts on Playboy cards? Yeah, so UFC, I mean, I love George St. Pierre. Like, you know, I've been to one UFC event and George fought there. It was in Toronto and I loved it. I'm a big GSP fan, but I have zero interest in UFC cards for my personal collection, but I'm just not a fan of the sport. I'm just not a fan of the sport. Simple as that. I just don't like. I find it. I cringe. Like I literally can't watch some of the fighting that goes on there. You know, me and my wife are watching Cobra Kai right now, and we're like, I don't know. We have 3 or 4 episodes left in the 3rd season, which is the most current, the last season we have so far. And there's a scene in the last episode where this one kid breaks this other kid's arm, and me and my wife were both like. We were like, oh, it was so hard to watch. Like, so UFC, I just find it hard to watch. Serious Playa. Do you love O-Pee-Chee Gold Seismic as much as I do? You know it. You know I do. Makes me think you know me because I do love O-Pee-Chee Gold Seismic as much as you do. Those are the ones out of 50 from O-Pee-Chee Platinum. I love O-Pee-Chee Platinum. It's an Upper Deck product. I love all the, well, I don't love all. I love most of the parallels. It's like hockey's Prism, and the Gold Seismics are stunning looking cards. Love them, love them, love them. KSA holders are ugly too. I feel the same way. KSA mottos overgrading since 1995. I don't like being so down on a company in the hobby. But you know, fix your slabs. Fix your slabs. Dennis, anyone believe how big basketball took off? Just crazy. Basketball's crazy. I agree. I read how hockey actually has the highest earning fans of any 4 major sports, so it's maybe not surprising. It reflects more in the hobby heat. Yeah, part of that, Sean, my understanding is that playing hockey is very expensive. The equipment, renting the ice, very expensive. That I think that what I've heard is that people who play hockey, like kids who play hockey, come from some of the highest earning families type of thing. I love podcasts. Welcome, says. Thoughts on BGS 10 versus PSA 10? Is it worth it to pay premium price on BGS 10? I will never do it. I will never pay a premium for a BGS 10 over a PSA 10. There you go. Greg, did my first PSA sub for a Future Watch Auto patch. So that's a Future Watch Auto patch. That's like a parallel out of 100. Was told to only get the signature graded, not the actual card. Sig got a 10 and it's the only 10 in the pop. How should I value it as opposed to a Future Watch? Yeah, I don't know, Greg. I don't know. I'm sorry. But value it highly. I mean, Future Watch Auto patches are amazing cards every year. They're up there with the Cup in terms of how nice they are. They only do 100 of them, right? Cup rookies are most of the time out of 249. But the SP Authentic Future Watch Auto patch is considered a parallel. So it's a rookie year card. It's an RY, not an RC. People like that RC designation. People pay up for it. So, but don't undervalue it. I'll tell you that. Earl agrees KSA cards can be a deal, but you are taking a risk of buying a trimmed card. I agree with that. KSA has a reputation of putting a lot of trim cards in their slabs. Triple V says, invest in simple protective eye gear. If you plan on cracking, never know where those shards will land. Very good advice. Very good advice. I've cracked my share, and you got to be careful. Look at you hockey guys going strong into midnight. There you go, Justin. We're about done here, guys. We're gonna sign off on the top of the hour here in about 9 minutes. You want deals, says Ryan. Look at the price difference from PSA to BGS. Seems to be growing by the day. I think there might be more opportunity now than there was over the past year to buy BGS 9.5s that are like true 9.5s, so all 9.5s with maybe a 10 or 2 thrown in, and swapping those or crossing those over to a PSA 10. Definitely can see some opportunity there. UFC stuff is hard to stomach. I don't actually find it exciting to watch someone get kicked directly in the face. Completely turns me off. Yeah, it's just not for me either. It's just not for me. Big money in the red autos. Joe says, just want to acknowledge the great show with Patrick Bet David. That was killer show. Great work. Jeremy, who's next? Thank you, Joe. Next up is Mike Phillips, Executive Vice President at Upper Deck. Then we've got the week after. I'm just figuring that out right now. But the week after that, we got Brian Gray, who's awesome every time. And the week after that is, it's going to come up on the ticker right now because I can't remember off the top of my head, is Paul Lesko, the Hobbies resident legal analyst, and he's awesome. Thank you, Greg. Dennis, I only do PSA for the graded cards and Beckett for autographs. Fair. Bobby Burrell, didn't know you were there. Welcome. Good to see you. Trimmed cards. I love that. Trimmed cards fit better in holders. Sure thing. Sure they do. Serious Playa says, is Lafreniere the real deal? Isn't that the question of the season, especially with how high his young guns were selling at the beginning of the year? Well, I don't know. To be honest, I've never seen him play. I don't know. I hope he's the real deal. But that's hope. I don't know. Time will tell. I will go back and tell you, though, that in talking to a scout and some other people, they say he is going to be the real deal. But until you actually set foot on the NHL ice and play against fully grown men who are, 5 to 15 years older than you and have been playing the game at the man's level for a lot longer, it's just tough to know. So, but time will tell. Started going through the Patrick Bet David playlist. His financial videos are Patrick delivers his information in a way that is understandable. I've been watching more and more. Of course, I love the guy right now. He was super cool on the show, very complimentary. So yeah, I'm watching his videos. I think I like his content. I haven't seen anything in his content that I disagree with or don't like. I won't say anything that I didn't disagree with, but nothing where I was like, I wanted to turn it off. And you have to watch his interview with Kobe Bryant, guys. It was done last summer, 2 summers ago, the summer before Kobe passed away. One of the best interviews I've ever seen, by anyone of anybody. It was just awesome. Your top 3 pickups right now. I love podcasts. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I just don't know. I just can't answer that at the moment. I only have a few cards on my desk right now. I had 2 cards that came in the mail yesterday, none today. I'll show you guys the 2 cards I got in the mail yesterday. The first one is from 0506, The Cup. I collect base patch parallels, and those from 05 are really tough to find. But this is Eric Lindros, numbered out of 10. Overpaid, well more than I wanted to pay, but I wanted the darn card, so I made sure I got it. And there it is. And I've got about 20 from the series, so I'm still looking for more. And the other card I bought was this one, which I don't know much about it except that I think it's way too cheap. It's a 2000 EX Exceptional Peyton Manning Blue PSA 10. There's 3 colors. There's 3 parallels of this card: blues, reds, and greens. Blue is the rarest. It's numbered out of 100. The reds and the greens aren't numbered, I don't think. I know for sure one of them isn't. I think both of those aren't numbered. It's very jambalaya-like. It's got the lenticular stock, like that 3D action going on. And it's an early Peyton Manning card, numbered out of 100. I just thought this card, numbered down there in the corner, it's tough to see, but it is there. It's right there. Anyway, that says 98 of 100. And it's just tough to see in the light, but it's there. And I think these are completely undervalued. I showed a couple weeks ago, I picked up a Vince Carter from the series, a red one, which is super nice. It was like well under $100. This wasn't well under $100, but this card I think is very undervalued. So I bought it because I felt it was undervalued. When I did my first year of fantasy football back in 2003, Peyton Manning was the quarterback I took. I think I had the first overall pick, and I took Peyton Manning. So I've had some affinity towards Peyton Manning over the years. Brett McGrath from Stacking Slabs is a Peyton Manning fan. That's who he collects. it's kind of nice to have a card of a guy who you respect in the hobby, content-wise, of his favorite player. So we have this in common now, but I would have bought the card anyway, of course. Anyway, those are the 2 cards that just came for me yesterday in the mail. I have my COM-C shipment that came in late last week, which I haven't processed yet into the collection. It's sitting here. I showed a couple of these cards on Saturday, I think it was, when I was muted. My Dr. Jim Beckett rookie card in the BGS 9.5 holder. Nicest copy in existence. And then for all you Ziggy Palffy fans out there, 1998-99 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor in a BGS 9 holder, Zygmunt Palffy. I love this card. I bought this card on COM-C for $12. Tell me if you can get a card graded for $12. So those are some cards. Lots of comments. I'm going to go through these guys. We're going to sign off in about 3 minutes. What do you think about golf cards coming back? I think it's awesome, Adam. I think golf cards are going to be a big hit. Big hit. Yeah, Bobby's comment was funny, Justin. Definitely. BGS 9.5 Iginla SP die cut, $330. PSA 10 Iginla, I think no die cut, $600. Makes sense to me. I would pay more for the no die cut myself. Sean says, Joe Thornton looked like a dud in his first season. Sometimes even very hyped players start slow. That 100% correct. The same thing, I know Todd Bertuzzi isn't very popular anymore, but he was expected to be a huge player in the NHL. Well, he's huge. He's a big guy. But he took like 6-7 years to reach his peak, and he did. And he was an excellent player for a long time. That happens in hockey. Players can take longer. Sometimes they become the next Alexander Daig, right? A guy who's super hyped, first overall, and not much of a career to write home about. United Stats says, I've been seeing Lafreniere in the QMJHL. He's a special player. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. He's a special player. Got to be patient with those young guys. I'm with you. Billy says he had 8 months off without any hockey. Also very old prospect for his draft year, physically mature. He's the exact player that should be in the AHL. Well, let's see how he does. Lindros is, that's cool. Lindros, good player. Good player, Lindros. Hall of Famer, right? No Probert. No Probert. I don't have a Probert card anymore. Probert passed away, unfortunately. Dave Kaplan says, I missed the parts of the Patrick interview, but did you ask him if he had any buyer's remorse when he first bought the Gretzky PSA 10s? Didn't ask him that question, but I did ask him what his mindset was when he bought them. Billy says, which limited hockey insert set from the 90s do you think is the top dog? Stubble, of course. Of course, Stubble. Stubble and Silhouettes from Donruss Studio are a couple of my favorites. No, I'm not sure, Billy. I like lots of cards from the 90s. Greg, good night to you. Joe Perot says, I picked up a Green Hornet card because it had Bruce Lee on it. Bruce Lee equals real GOAT. Yeah, I've been hearing some stuff about Bruce Lee and the Green Hornet card. So definitely something to think about. Okay, that's the end of the comments. Thank you, Joe, for the last comment, guys. We're going to kill this. We've been going for 2.5 hours almost. Great viewership all the way through. I want to thank everybody for joining. Back on Saturday with Mike Phillips from Upper Deck. I'm also on Saturday morning, Hobby Hotline. Check that out. And next Monday night, I will be guest appearing on Dustin's channel, The Personal Finance Dad, which I'm really looking forward to doing. That'll be fun. Be sure to check out the Big Three Hockey guys on Instagram. My guys at the Big Three Hockey. Check them out. Show them some support. Give them a follow. No, he cannot be, because Ziggy Palffy is the GOAT of GOATs. I think the all-time GOAT has got to be Chuck Norris, right? Chuck Norris eats goats. Okay, guys. That's it. I'm done. This is fun. Guys. So thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll see you on Saturday. Have a great week. Rest of your week ahead.